Live from the heart of the forest, it's Super Gamecast 2 with your host, Bronson Fiore.
What is up, everybody? This is Super Gamecast 2, your number one source for video game news on the internet. I am Bronson Fiore, joined by the always awesome Aaron Reynolds.
Hey, hello, hi, feel great.
The wielder of the band Hammer, the mod mommy herself, Emily Hulslander.
Hello, darling. How are you?
And I'm still working on a nickname for him, or something for him, Jesse Pewitt.
Oh, we'll get there.
Bricked Elden Ring, Jesse Pewitt.
Yeah.
Oh.
Quit Elden Ring because his save gets corrupted. Jesse Pewitt.
Is it quit? Is it really quit? That's an Elden Ring boss.
Reinstall it.
Yeah.
Okay. I would throw my controller out the window is what I would have done.
I was pretty upset.
We'll get into that
I
more.
would be too. I would be too.
We'll get into that more because, man,
Yeah, that's a great news
story.
story. God, unfortunately we have a ridiculous amount of news. Oh my God.
Yeah. So much of this there new. And we'll start with, hey guys.
Oh.
Fighting games.
The
game of fights.
Yeah.
They have a round table, a third Japanese fighters round table.
Ooh.
So, traditionally, some companies involved bring up news or updates for ongoing projects, whether it be new DLC, the first look at a trailer, or additional plans for tournaments, etc. Just stuff to get excited about.
Yep.
The confirmed guests, President and CEO of Akira, Street Fighter V producer, King of Fighters 15 producer, Guilty Gear Strive director, Guilty Gear creator and producer, Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown producer, and the Tekken producer. Harada is the best man there. Well, I still want to buy that shirt for me, but that says "Don't ask me for shit."
That's a good shirt. I'll say that.
Shirt, and I agree.
Nice.
How do you feel about this list in terms of game representation for fighting games?
Well, Arc System Works kind of works on everything I play right now.
Right.
Like DBFZ, I was trying to get into Guilty Gear, and Persona Ultimax, so they're like kind of my one-stop shop right now.
Right.
If Street Fighter would actually become good again, that would be nice.
That'd be nice.
Or if, I don't get why Disney hates money. And Capcom hates money.
Mm-hmm.
Because imagine a world where Capcom comes out and is like, hey, we're putting out MVC2 with rollback, and it's like a $20 download.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, like even a $30 download, let's be real.
Right.
Yeah.
And then also, here's this trailer for MVC4.
Oh my God. Okay, well, that would be...
Like,
that would be clutch.
Fucking,
that would be absolutely clutch.
Yeah, like people would lose their fucking minds.
Yeah.
It would do so well.
Yeah.
So well. But
this is a good representation.
Yes.
These people are obviously
key players.
Yeah. They're obviously not going to bring Ed Boon in. Ed Boon doesn't want to be there. He's Mortal Kombat. Who cares?
They need to bring in... Microsoft needs to get Iron Galaxy to come back and do Killer Instinct 2.
Yes.
Yeah, they should.
Dave Lang. Imagine Dave Lang at these meetups. There you go.
It's chaos. You have to bring Dave Lang and Adam Boyes together. They're a package.
Yes.
I'd be there for that. I think we're going to see some talk about crossplay. Since Persona's getting crossplay, Guilty Gear Strive is announced to get crossplay between PC and PS4 and PS5. I think we're going to be seeing a push for that rollback. That battle, I think, is won, and crossplay is the next
hurdle. Did Persona have it?
It doesn't have it at launch, but it will be. The launch date for rollback is this summer.
Most of the Evo games have it, at least. Yeah. I know Dragon Ball FighterZ still doesn't.
That's
and they've
amazing.
done some tweaks to, I don't get why either, because it's huge.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. And like I know that Street Fighter doesn't have it still. Like new releases are having it and getting it, which is nice. Like that's a big deal, but it's still very much like they're still very much fucking dragging their feet on this shit.
Right. Yeah.
I think it's known that anything that's new that comes out has to have it.
Okay.
Like,
as long as they are doing it, then great.
But they need to go back to these old games, and it's probably a giant pain in the ass to do it. And
yeah, that's not gonna.
Because fighting games have longer tails than ever now. Fighting games have long tails now.
Right.
And they really need that. They need that additional push, I feel, at least. So yeah, I don't know. I think I think these things are great. That as far as actual announcements go, they tend to be a little underwhelming.
Okay.
But like as far as putting out, like communicating with the community and seeing what's out there and all that kind of stuff, like it's these are good. They're good.
I'm always interested in what comes out of them, and yeah, they have a new guy, the Virtua Fighter guy coming in, so they'll have a new voice.
Also, in the chat, Snow Rabbit says, "Hi, what's up, Snow Rabbit?
What's up, Snow Rabbit?
Hello.
Whoa." Yeah,
gearing up for a Tekken 8 announcement here. I don't think it'll be here, but I think with that Netflix anime, I think with that Virtua Fighter 5 collaboration, I think we are very close to Tekken 8.
It'd be funny if fighting games just started announcing at this, and like that's what just happens every year. Just like all video game things, like anything that's like supposed to be business oriented eventually just turns into a consumer event.
Well, yeah, because that's what the community does, right? Like they go to all these events and they start,
Well, like this is like just meant to be business people, and then like these people that put on these events see money when people show interest in it, and so they do it more and more and more. And then all of a sudden we're all in a stadium.
E3 turns into like a weird con. Yeah.
Some actors, some bodybuilders are dressed up as Ryu and Ken, like standing on the side while they're talking now.
Yeah. Street Fighter 6 is obviously being worked on.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you feel about the state of fighting games right now? Okay.
Like, yeah, okay. It's like the community is getting to a better place now that like it's shitty that corporate had to get really involved, corporate America and corporate Japan, but it also cleaned a lot of shit up.
Sure.
So that like double-edged sword there, because like part of the appeal of the FGC was just some raw ass shit.
Yeah.
You don't get that everybody's getting fucked song. Somebody's getting fucked song out of like corporate.
Right, no.
You don't get people booing the guy playing the 60-year-old lady at like a more corporate sponsored thing.
You don't?
But you also don't get like all the weird harassment cases and whatnot.
As long as no one throwing crabs at people.
Yeah, that's
I forgot about that.
Yeah, remember that?
Yeah, that's right. That did happen.
Funny story.
God damn
but man,
it.
at the time, that
God
wasn't
damn
great.
it.
Yeah, like it's one of those things. Funny in hindsight.
Yeah, yeah,
like,
great story, but
like it's.
I mean, yeah, Arc System's been making some great games. Street Fighter is in a weird spot, but they've been successful. Tekken's been doing well as far as I understand.
Don't get
Fighters
it,
with their new release. Yeah.
That King of Fighters release did way better than I thought it would.
Yeah.
Like, I was expecting that to come out and just die almost immediately. Like,
and they have it says here in the story they're releasing some DLC characters from Garou Mark of Wolves, which Jerica has to be just through the roof about.
I mean, it's Rock Howard. Like, how can you not be excited?
this is the problem when your favorite fighting series that isn't Street Fighter or Dragon Ball related is fucking MVC.
Right.
Just
yeah. Yeah.
You're just sitting here going like it's that meme of like Squidward looking out the window at the two kids playing SpongeBob Patrick playing.
I mean, you just got to re-release the Persona 4 Ultimax, which granted is a game you've played, for a while. They're still supporting fighters, interestingly enough. But yeah, if you didn't jive with Guilty Gear Strive, then
yeah, like Guilty Gear Strive is fine.
Yeah,
it's too Galaxy Brain for me. That's what it is.
Okay.
You got to pick an Unga Bunga character and you're fine.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I loaded up some Persona Ultimax. And I'll get into this more later, and I'm just like fucking. I'm still so good at cross-ups in that game. Just fucking with people. Like I went 2-2 by the end of the night, but both matches were super close. All the matches were super close. I didn't get dominated purely based on the fact that like cross up.
There you go. Yeah.
A lot of people like to jump at you, and like the two characters I play have really good anti-air.
Oh, nice. So there you go.
It's just like
as long as you got that loaded up.
Yeah. So, yeah. I don't know. It's one of those things where, like, for me personally, this is probably the least excited I've been in a while because like Dragon Ball FighterZ is kind of in maintenance mode. Killer Instinct has been in maintenance mode for years. I haven't genuinely enjoyed Street Fighter since like the third or second season of Street Fighter V. I hear it's great, but I just don't want to go back to it.
Right.
And then like Marvel vs. Capcom is like dead.
Yeah.
So it's like all my favorites are like in at best maintenance mode. And like and then Persona Ultimax just came out, and I'm hoping that kind of draws me back. Like playing those 4 matches this weekend, I was like, oh right, these.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I think that's what can make these talks potentially interesting is that it's kind of, other than like Guilty Gear here and King of Fighters, it's kind of quiet. And so I wonder if they have things to say, because like during release, like I don't know, I don't. They could be talking about how they're trying to refine their game or whatever. But
that means nothing until you play it, and even then, it's like
yeah.
What percentage of the community actually understands a lot of that refined shit is the question.
I mean, I figure this roundtable is supposed to be the place to do that, right?
Yeah.
This is the time to get the people who can speak that language well, get them all together to talk that stuff.
Yes, exactly. Hey, Ninja, can you do me a favor and take over talking about the fighting games for a sec? Because diuretics.
Right. Sure can.
Yeah, what were you gonna say, Ninja?
I wouldn't say we're in like a golden age of fighting games, but I think we're pretty close. I know Bronson doesn't care much for Street Fighter V, but it is in probably the best shape that it's been in ever.
Wow. I mean, that's good. That's good. What do you think comes with a Street Fighter 6?
I'd be interested to see what kind of mechanics, like what kind of new mechanics are coming. We know 2 characters are confirmed. There's the last DLC guy in Street Fighter V, whose name I don't remember, like Leo or Lucas or Luke or something like that, and Ryu from that teaser trailer. But it'd be interesting to see how they shake up like the core mechanics of the game.
Right. I just remember I'm the big casual who was like, I played Street Fighter 2 at the roller rink in Reno, and I was like, oh man, that's fun. I enjoyed playing Ken and whatever, and then left it alone. And then Street Fighter 4 came out, and I was like, oh, let's check out Street Fighter. Oh right, I'm bad at fighting games. Well, this was fun for a little bit, and then I ducked out, and I just heard things about Street Fighter 5 that didn't sound too great, or really anything that would bring the casual person in. So I didn't get in. But like the only thing, we've only seen that teaser bit, and that logo is very esporty.
Yes.
And I wonder if that's a hint towards the direction they're trying to take things. I don't know if that really affects gameplay very much, but Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
curious.
I think you're onto something. There's a definitely a push toward like esportifying fighting games.
Which, like, what does that mean for gameplay? Like, I don't know.
Well, like yeah, that's true. I don't know what that means for mechanics or gameplay, but for presentation, I think there's definitely a shift. You even in Street Fighter V, you could see things start to shift. For example, like Mika's critical art or super art or whatever it's called in Street Fighter V, had the camera angles changed so it wasn't as risque, right?
Right.
And then during a Red Bull tournament that was broadcast, I think it was a Red Bull tournament, it might have been Evo. That was broadcast on ESPN. Players were told no risque costumes, which is like fine. It's going out on TV or whatever.
Sure.
But you can start to see these little shifts towards corporatizing these events.
Which is good and bad.
Right.
Like it's good in the sense that it's a lot more cleaned up. There's probably gonna be more prize money. There's like you get more hype announcements.
For sure.
But you also like you said, you don't get that as rowdy of a thing going on.
Right.
You lose that grassroots feeling.
Yeah, like and that's kind of always been real key to why I kind of fell in love with fighting games. And Snow Rabbit says, checking on what you guys are streaming since I always miss it because I work a lot.
Well, thanks for checking in.
Yeah, this is a good. Well, we're going to inform you on all the things that are video game news.
But hey, we got a podcast too.
Yep.
If you ever miss, don't worry.
We stream, we podcast, we do all kinds of cool stuff.
Post that stuff on YouTube.
We do.
We do. I'm not lying.
So
let's see. Yeah, so I'm curious. The last couple, from what I remember, the last couple of these round tables, like not a lot came from them.
No, it ended up being like set up for later, and it was very like business talk, and if it wasn't business talk, it was like balance talk. Which, once again, I feel like for like half of the people who play fighting games, the balance talk is like, whatever, unless something is totally borked.
Sure.
Yeah, like that would be the one exception. Like something's totally borked, then that's when that happens.
I understand why that conversation would take over in a round table like this. Like, how the fuck do you balance these characters? God damn it. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm curious. I'll be looking for the headlines, and if something interesting comes of it, then maybe I'll watch later. But
yeah, I'll end up watching it, but I'm not like, when is it? When's the date for it?
It is March 21st at 1 p.m. JST, which is 1 a.m. Central here. Wait, Game Informer Central? Okay. So midnight on the West Coast, right?
I will catch the VOD.
I will probably end up watching it mainly because I'm still working from home, right?
Or no, Central is 1, so it would be 11 p.m. Western. And
okay, that's
2 a.m. Eastern.
That's like right before when I go to sleep. So sure.
Yeah, sure.
Get a nice little nice bit of taste of disappointment before bed.
That is this Monday. So I mean, yeah, if you're listening to this podcast, it's already passed. But yep. But yeah, I don't know. I'm interested. We'll see.
Yep.
You can watch that. You can watch that on Arc System Works Twitch channel and the Virtua Fighter official YouTube channel. Okay.
Virtua Fighter 5 Showdown. What a joke. Lol. I thought it was gonna blow up too. Like the way the FGC was talking about it, and then it just died.
It made it really sound like it was gonna go somewhere, and then like a week later, done.
Yep, no one cared. It's because it's like the thing about fighting games is that the FGC doesn't get is like you need to make it like at least semi-approachable to new people. Like you
it's
need
just
to
not at
like,
all.
oh fuck no! Like,
Virtua Fighter's super complicated.
It's like the most hardcore.
Okay.
Like it's
you've only got like what 4 buttons, but it's super complicated.
Yeah, it's like Tekken was always considered the more casual, and like was not preferred in Japan.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
And then Tekken to me is like hilariously complicated. So,
right.
you know.
Nope. Good. I'm good.
Yep.
But we'll see. I don't know.
I loaded it up the weekend it came out, and I was like, this is weird. And then never touched it again.
Man, those graphics when Virtua Fighter came out.
Yeah, no, that was a real showcase for the PS3 and eventually the 360.
Oh, you're talking about that. I was talking about the original.
Oh, yeah, I mean, yes, that was also like a real big deal. Like it was, that series has always been like very technically proficient.
Yeah.
Like it's just like, oh, look at what we can do with a full arcade cabinet. Right. It's like, wow, full 3D, neat.
Yeah.
So, then now like every fighting game looks incredible, and it's like it's not like playing Virtua Fighter 5 is like, yeah, this game looks good still.
Yep.
But I mean, look at the shit I'm doing in Dragon Ball FighterZ or Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Like playing Persona 4 Ultimax this weekend was like really weird because it was just like, oh right, like this is kind of pixelated in some ways. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, that is what it is. Well, hopefully it'll be good. That'll be tomorrow. We'll be reporting on the news from it next week. So another big thing that happened during the week is we got some we finally got some fucking news on Hogwarts Legacy.
Finally,
we finally got some news on Hogwarts Legacy. Thank fucking Christ. Like they put out that teaser like forever ago. Like it felt like a fucking lifetime. And then it was just like that. Then it was like never heard from. Like, and we were supposed to hear it at like last week's State of Play, but turns out it was getting like its own State of Play.
Oh, interesting.
As it turns out, and then like I don't know how they like feel about it, but it is what it is. So anyway, Hogwarts Legacy, they did a big like 20-minute demo thing on it, and it looks pretty good. Before I get into this though, I'm curious, everyone here enjoyed Harry Potter enough to know what their house is? Take a Pottermore test.
I don't follow much Harry Potter anymore, but I do know I eventually settled on Hufflepuff.
Okay. Gryffindor here.
Same.
Oh, I also got
House
Hufflepuff.
Gryffindor.
Oh, are you talking about? Are you talking about the official quiz that came out with that one website like years and years ago?
I have taken that test every time they've refreshed it, and 2 out of the 3 times I got Gryffindor.
What was the one?
Slytherin.
Oh, okay.
Shifty motherfucker.
IGN.
It's true, Bronson. It's true.
IGN readers are Ravenclaw, then Slytherin, then Gryffindor.
Hufflepuffs are rare.
Yeah.
No. They're rare.
I don't know. What I've learned about Hufflepuff over time is they chill.
They're very good people.
They're good people. They hang out in the basement and like just chill and drink, and it's all right. It's all right.
Listen to new music and
Yep.
Yeah. So
they're fans of gardening. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know.
It's my roommate actually. One of my roommates is a Hufflepuff.
Gryffindor likes blowing shit up.
We sure do.
I don't know if that's.
We sure do.
Okay, sure.
It is, and then I've always said Anthony Ta, like people say he's a Ravenclaw. For those of you who know the insides of our community, and I'm like, Anthony Ta is a Slytherin motherfucker if I've ever seen one.
That is a funny thought.
Like that motherfucker is so ambitious that
sure,
nah.
I believe that. I'm just imagining Anthony Ta in a Slytherin outfit while driving like race cars.
That sounds pretty neat.
Imagine
that sounds pretty dope.
Okay,
that does sound pretty
transfer
dope.
the rights of Harry Potter from J.K. Rowling to me. I'm gonna have fucking Harry Potter street racing. All right, let me write this fan fiction.
Okay, hold on. Let me. You need to do initial D.
Yes.
But Harry Potter.
Initial M. for magic.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
There we go. Initial magic. Boom. All right.
And Harry Potter's like, I've never driven before, and then he wins in his first year. There you go. Done.
Yes.
I made a Harry Potter book.
Yeah, there we go. Awesome.
Okay,
and he starts doing it like post Hogwarts, like when he's a man.
Well, he becomes magic police, so I don't know if he's got time. He'll be busting, so we got to create new characters.
No. He's being magic cop, and like he has to like stop magic drifting. Otherwise people get outed, and the only way he can do it is via magic drifting. Boom.
I still think he ends up being a sympathetic villain in my story due to that.
Okay.
'Cause I'm cheering for the drifters. Yeah, the humans might see it, so they should check out this shit.
Oh lordy,
God
awesome.
Damn it. Anyway,
all right. So
back to the not as interesting story, Hogwarts Legacy.
The not nearly as interesting version of our group Harry Potter fan fiction. Oh, lordy. All right, so you will let wizards live full life as a 5th-year student at Hogwarts. You can duel other classmates, bring potions, fly on a broomstick, explore campus in your free time. So you're tasked with investigating a goblin rebellion. Further noting there's an uneasy alliance between goblins and dark wizards. The game was announced in 2020. It is set in the 1800s, so it's kind of set before any of the real lore in the series that we know of for the most part. It showed gameplay and mechanics, a talent system, upgrade trees. You can have stealth. You can go full combat. You can learn all kinds of stuff like that. It does pick a house for you to go to. Like you either get I don't know if the game is. It just says you get sorted.
So yeah, that sounds like they sort you, but like, come on, with these games, they're gonna let
reload
you
the save over and over, baby. Let's go.
They have a thing like save beforehand, and reload.
You want to be really funny as if they just put the Pottermore test into the game.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yes.
That'd be the best. It'd just be like, it's just like, no. And then you could get around that by like figuring out which answer applies to which house if you really wanted to.
I mean, you could be real obtuse with like what each answer is directing you towards.
Yeah. I was shocked. I got Gryffindor 2 of the 3 times.
Why? What were you thinking you'd get?
Slytherin.
Oh, okay.
Slytherin or Ravenclaw. So
sure.
Anyway, so they showed off a bunch of stuff with it. It looks pretty good. It looks like it looks like a kind of standard, like high production value Western RPG. The combat has potential to be really interesting with all the different stuff you can do. And the game looks pretty good, at least on the PS5 demo unit they were showing off. This whole like weird cross-gen thing we're doing is interesting to say the least.
Yeah,
because you're getting stuff like Guardians of the Galaxy, which is running at like 5 frames per second.
Right.
So yeah. Anyway, and another interesting thing is this game is also $70 on the new consoles.
Is that like outside of Sony too?
Yep.
Damn. Wow. Yep. That's okay.
Yep. So I'll pull it up again just to be sure. Yep. PS5 $70. Series X $70. Yep.
Oof.
100%.
Rough.
Old consoles are still $60. Right. Including a Nintendo Switch. So we're getting a Switch version. It is going to be cloud-based Switch version because everyone loves that. You know. Just oh god, just the thought has induced vomiting. So because I know everyone loved Cloud Guardians of the Galaxy.
Or Cloud Kingdom Hearts, or
the Kingdom Hearts one pissed me off so bad because I was like, these were PS2 and 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yep. Man.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I just like they have to be making money because otherwise they wouldn't be doing them.
Well, exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
But on the other side of that, it's just like it's such a bad experience. How's he gonna not get Kingdom Hearts? Right, like, dude, I don't like. And the thing is, like, okay, maybe it's a lot of files. Then you just put the individual games out at a cheaper price, or you put like, oh no, maybe multiple carts or like something.
Right.
You know, because like, holy shit,
It's
dude.
Kingdom Hearts. Come on.
So yeah, in the chat, I am the nasty boots. It's bananas. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It sure is.
This gameplay looks cool though.
This
like,
combat is I don't know what I expected when I heard about this game at first, but this is kind of interesting.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of mages in different like RPGs, but like the game is mostly mages.
But there's also like this. It feels like there's an Arkham Asylum combat kind of feel to it.
Yeah, because you got the counter system.
Yeah.
Like and this is the studio's first game, so I'm hoping that it ends up being. I'm hoping it ends up like turning into an Arkham situation. Well, that wasn't that first game, but that was their first real game.
Mm-hmm.
Like their first big game, and it turned out awesome. So, this game has a lot of potential, and it's the next part of that news story is it's coming out later this year. So it's confirmed for this year.
All right.
Yep. Holiday
Is what they're saying. So November, December, which if it does come out, this game will be huge for Christmas. Like expect big money sales.
Like they put a
Very
lot of work
excited for
into
this
this
one.
game.
Yeah, I'm generally like pretty stoked for it as a whole. Like I'm obviously more interested in Gotham Knights just because that's more my vibe, and it's also like a developer who has a track record.
Yeah,
versus this.
And with this being at like $70, like I'm probably not checking this one out for a while, but I'll be
Yeah,
interested to
well,
see.
Microsoft has a pretty good relation with WB. It might go to Game Pass. We'll see.
It might. You're right. If that happens, well then, shit.
It kind of depends on what else is coming out around that time, because it's also like, because like now that games have hit a $70 price tag, I'm a lot more tentative to go out and buy one.
Right.
Like that extra, that extra $10 to $15 depending on tax and whether you're buying it digitally, it adds up.
Yep.
Especially like when you buy multiple games at a time, because it used to be 2 games was $120. Now it's $140 before tax. And that's after tax $130 and $150, and like $20 is $20, man. That's a good meal somewhere.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. This game is a lot bigger than I realized it would be. There's a lot going on here.
It is It also has the first visual representation of the Hufflepuff common room.
That's amazing. All right.
So I know all the Hufflepuffs out there are going to be excited.
I mean, this will be also 1800s. So like I imagine like that'll give them creative liberties to do whatever they want with all of the house rooms and all that fun stuff.
Yes, for sure.
Depending on where it's placed, we may not see Dumbledore, but I would bet we would see Dumbledore at the end of the game. You're going to have some kid that helps you out with a bunch of shit throughout the game, and at the end, you're like, "What's your name?" And he's like, "Elvis," and then he winks at you, and the camera pans out, and then credits
of course.
roll. Yeah,
I would hope. That's
a silly little first year or something.
I hope they do some connections. They've said there's going to be like some minor ones, like that. They already showed that nearly headless Nick is in the game, for example.
Nice.
So yeah.
All right.
How old? When was Albus born in the lore?
late 1800, like 1890s, I think. I don't know why I know that.
Look, man,
I have no excuse.
Let's see. He was born in 1881, so at best, he would be a first year in the game if he's in it.
Right.
So yeah.
There's a lot going on here. Yeah. All right. Well.
Yeah. Hopefully it's good.
Hopefully it's good.
I want this game to turn out.
Look at this. Like you're like building buildings and like setting them down and like what?
I'm also curious how this game is going to run on the old consoles.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Because man, Guardians of the Galaxy got rough last year.
Yeah.
Like I remember, like, oh yeah, the PS4 version like constantly drops below 30.
Right.
So
at some point we have to leave the old consoles behind.
So
when is the question?
I guess whenever you can go buy a console. I actually read a ridiculous news story a while ago that like apparently like half of all PS5s are just like that have been bought are just sitting there for resale.
Oh no.
That sucks.
Just fucking god dirt bags.
Yep.
I don't know. I do my best to like. I'm actually like. I've actually told David if I can get a hold of one, I'll sell it to him for MSRP.
Nice. Yeah.
Because he's looking for one. He wants to play Ghost of Tsushima and a bunch of other games.
Okay.
So,
sure.
Yeah. I do my best for our community when it comes to getting them systems.
Yeah.
That's going to be a lot harder nowadays because I'm going to be working in an office that has cell phones banned in the area where you work.
Right. God.
So
that sucks.
That's terrible.
Because you work with federal documents and they don't want you copying all that down and selling it.
I get it.
I get it too, but I get it too, but it's like, okay, but if I have like any sort of a decent memory, I'm just going to remember it, write it down in the break room, and then sell it or do whatever with it.
Sure.
Like, it's like, so do you trust me to do this job or not?
Right.
Is the thing. Like, it's so dumb. I get it though. Corporate America, you need to like lower the chance of risk as much as possible with everything.
Right. God
Dumb.
Whatever.
Anyway, we got Hogwarts Legacy. It looks cool. I'm glad we finally got to see gameplay. Yay.
Yeah. After all that time, and it looks like it looks good for all the time it's spent sitting silent. So
for all the time we have spent on that, a game that apparently we should be concerned about is Perfect Dark. So as much as half of the core development team of the initiative have quit in the past year, but management says it's, quote, confident in its team. The initiative studio has seen a, quote, fast and furious wave of senior departures in the past 12 months. VGC has learned. This includes the initiative senior design team, including game director Dan Newberger, design director Drew Murray, and the level designer Chris O'Neill, principal world builder Jolion Myers, 2 senior system designers, a group of 3 former God of War designers, and more. Turnover doesn't end in design. Perfect Dark's 2 most senior writers recently quit. Analysis shows among the project's technical director, tech art director, lead gameplay engineer, lead animator, QA lead, and more. According to LinkedIn, the initiative shows less than 50 people and currently has just 3 roles advertised on its website, suggesting it hired about 12 people in the past 12 months. Since September 2021, the announcement has been confirmed that Crystal Dynamics has signed on to co-develop Perfect Dark. This, combined with a few job roles advertised on initiatives, assist the Tomb Raider developers likely taking a much stronger lead than first thought. Interviews with former senior developers cited a lack of creative autonomy and slow development progress as a reason for departures, with project momentum to be, quote, heavily affected. The initiative's management told VGC it's confident in the team and it has its place and new talent joining, and pointed to industry-wide staffing challenges during COVID-19. It's no small task to build a studio and reinvent a beloved franchise, studio head Daryl Gallagher told VGC. In creating the initiative, we set out to leverage co-development partnerships to achieve our ambitions, and we're really excited about all the progress we're seeing with Crystal Dynamics. In this journey, it's not uncommon for there to be staffing changes, especially during a time of global upheaval over the last 2 years. There's plenty more work in front of us to deliver a fantastic Perfect Dark experience to our players. We wish all our former colleagues the very best, and I'm confident in the team we have in place, the new talent joining, and we can't wait to share more with fans.
Regardless of what happens, this is not a great look when you hype up creating for a studio and then you hand over main development reins to Crystal Dynamics anyway.
Yeah, which, I mean, they are a very talented AAA studio. Do not get that wrong.
No, I don't think anyone would say. I think some people who think of Avengers and not of Tomb Raider would say that, but like, and even then, like Avengers was good. It's just that they had to make it. Square Enix is like, you have to make this like Destiny, and like, God damn it.
It's like, we just make really good action adventure games, right?
Right. We can't just do that.
Who made Guardians of the Galaxy last year? Like, I know it was a Square Enix published game.
I don't recall. It is not coming.
Eidos Montreal.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so.
So yeah, it seems like from reading the story, it sounds like the moment Crystal Dynamics took over, they seem to have gone in a different direction, and people at the initiative just got real frustrated with that.
Yeah, no, it's and to be fair, this isn't the first shit show out of Microsoft we've heard for development.
Yeah,
like for all the good things that you hear about, for all the good things you hear about, like, Turn 10 and Rare, and Playground Games, like those three, you've just heard goddamn nightmares about 343 Industries and now the initiative.
Right.
So it's just like, and like, I'm just curious, like, what they can do to fix this, because, and David Jaffe has laid his insight on it. He's just like, they need a Shuhei Yoshida or a Shannon, what's her name? I forget her full name, but like one of them to come in and to come in and like set deadlines and keep accountability, and if and determine if delays are good or not. And he says, like, he would just go up to the people who do it for Sony and just like their Microsoft dump truck of money at their house.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is as someone who just plays video games in regards to what's going on here. I feel like we'll get more detail on this whole thing as we get closer to either a cancellation or a release. But yeah, this is not looking good.
No, fair. No, and to be fair, everything about Halo was a shit show, and it turned out great.
Sure.
So, games are complicated processes. Yep. And, just because development is a shit show doesn't mean necessarily it'll turn out bad. The game itself.
Like a news story coming up here in a bit.
Yes.
Yeah, according to former employees, many senior team members were frustrated by this perceived lack of autonomy and didn't feel heard on key issues such as development priorities, project planning, and team staffing. Like, yeah, communication. Yep. Important.
Yeah, like I'm looking through who's left and when. A lot of it was like October to January of last year / this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks like they've lost half their programmers, half their design team, half their art team. Like, it's half of like every team. So also it feels weird that like they lost people from like Naughty Dog, like former God of War, like Naughty Dog, etc. people.
Mm-hmm.
And then they picked up a bunch of people from Infinity Ward, Riot, and like Treyarch.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, are you like, maybe it's just like a philosophy thing, like you turned out you were making a like narrative game and you wanted to make like a shooter, maybe that's it. I don't.
Right.
I don't know. I'm inclined to agree with David Jaffe, as they just need like a project manager for their whole portfolio at this point if this keeps happening.
Well, I mean, the sources here seem to suggest that because of this exodus, Crystal Dynamics has been coming in and filling in those gaps, and they think it might have triggered a soft reboot of development on Perfect Dark, which means we might be a ways away from that game coming out.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
The big Xbox game that I'm curious about, in all honesty, is Fable. Because that's actually made by a long-established studio that's like really good.
Sure.
So, speaking of not Microsoft owned devs, but like devs who have worked with Microsoft a ton.
Mm-hmm.
Moon Studios, the developers of Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will of the Wisps, have a lot of, quote, abusive and oppressive things going on at their workplace, including crunch, verbal abuse, poor organization. In a report by GamesBeat, which says that Xbox is no longer working with the studio following what has been, quote, a difficult relationship. The lengthy report details a range of allegations, most of which center on the studio's founders, Thomas Mahler and Gennady Korol. They include reports of constant arguments, a crunch culture, and developers were expected to be available at all hours and on weekends, and a steady stream of racist, sexist, and anti-Semitic banter.
Whoa.
It's an oppressive workplace for sure, but it's hard to pinpoint one thing because in isolation, all these incidents, if they happen once, do you think they're small things? One developer is quote saying, we're dealing with that for multiple years. You're going to see the decline of people's mental health. I can say that for myself. Personally, I was properly messed up after we finished. I've never been depressed until that moment. I lost my passion for my job because they drummed it out of me. Another developer's quote is saying were the founders both belligerent? Yes. In my opinion, was limited to those two? Yes.
Oh.
Unprofessional on an hourly basis? Yes. Harassing? Yes. The full report paints a picture of a studio with, quote, a perfectionist culture that really provided positive feedback and burned out developers. The story also covers issues with bonuses and other problems. Developers reportedly compared the issues at Moon Studios with those of Bungie and Activision Blizzard, which captured the headlines of their own problems. Moon Studios originally was found success with Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will of the Wisps 5 years later. Both were gorgeous Metroidvanias and were some rare bright spots in the Xbox One exclusive lineup. But while Moon Studios closely associated with Xbox, it reportedly had a fraught relationship with the platform holder, filled with missed deadlines, conflicts over funding and amounts, and constantly changing scope. Moon Studios' next project is reporting an action RPG that is being developed in a partnership with Private Division. IGN reached out to Microsoft for comment and update the story with their response. And then they gave a very lengthy quote about how they're a fully remote studio and how like the two studio heads are, like all kinds of different stuff. Like it's I encourage you to go look up the IGN article.
Yeah.
It's by Kat Bailey. Ori developers culture reportedly oppressive. Dollar working. And I like, yeah. And they bring up finally, we appreciate the irony that we, an Australian and an Israeli Jew, started this multicultural enterprise. We view each other as brothers. And like brothers, we sometimes argue and frequently tease each other. We made jokes at our own expense about the differences in our backgrounds. May have been times that our teasing each other come off as insensitive and made others feel uncomfortable. Is the like, yeah, dude, you're in a corporate work environment. Like, that's like, it's not like, it's not like you're making a game that is like a huge Xbox game. Like you are like you look at the Game Pass art, Ori's there.
Mm-hmm.
You look at like most of their big promotional trailers for their indie initiatives, Ori is there. You have to act like a fucking professional now. Like it doesn't mean you can't and especially like you're working with random strangers who those jokes may not come off as appropriate or funny. Like right. you when you're a studio head, you got to be a grown up. So yeah. On top of this, I posted a lovely thing here. If I can find it in the news, here we go. A developer of theirs, one of the few female developers who worked at the studio, came out with some lovely tweets. Mm-hmm. She is currently narrative lead at Primal Game Studios and previously worked on Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Okay.
Said, I worked at Moon Studios for 2 years. I was the only woman on the story team. I struggle to find the words to express what a soul-destroying experience it was to work with the head of the studio, Thomas and Gennady. The whole studio is built on the lie that quality justifies everything. Verbal abuse, crunch, public humiliation, but it wears you down and burns you out. Burns out people who do not produce quality. Anything good that you may have made before they had killed your creative spark was used to lure new unwitting devs in to fill the places of friends you watched leave one by one. Please don't be fooled. Don't perpetuate the problem by working for places like Moon. We have to stop defeatist mentality. That is just what the industry is like. There are better places out there. You deserve better. So, yeah.
Treat people good.
It's not hard, man.
Yeah.
It's really not. It's really not.
God damn.
Look, a 40-hour work week, occasionally, ask for overtime, and if people are willing, great. If not, it. Especially in this case, y'all got Microsoft money.
Yep.
And come on. Or in this, they're not owned by Microsoft, but that's why I find there's expectations at different levels. Mm-hmm. And when you're one of Microsoft's key games, you can afford a delay. Fact. It's just, same thing with Sony. Naughty Dog, when I heard the crunch coming out of Last of Us, I was I sit there and I'm like, I get to get this level of perfection. You guys need to bust ass, but on the other side of that, I'm like, maybe we could, make it voluntary at least.
That'd be good.
And hey, if all those people want to fucking work 80-hour weeks of their own volition, then
exactly.
Well, fucking good for them. Mm-hmm. Good for the go-getters. But yeah, so I don't know. Ninja, what's your take on this?
I'm gonna sum it up in 3 words.
Mm-hmm.
Crunch is bad. It's not hard to be professional. It's not hard to treat your people well. I'm really tired of seeing all these news stories about how unprofessional the gaming industry in general has been. It's not that hard.
It's just these news stories. I gather our news every week, and I saw that and I was like, fuck, another one?
Mm-hmm.
Every time.
Every fucking week. And it's just it's not that hard, boys. It's not, man. Just fucking A.
Yeah.
And once again, there are cases like the Cuphead people. I'll go to the working conditions first. The sexual harassment that is never, that kind of unprofessionalism is never acceptable, and it never should be. And I don't know why you would think it would be. Mm-hmm. And in the case of these 2 dudes, I'm going to assume the best of them and say, okay, hey, they're just being bros and fucking around with each other. But going back to what I said, you're the 2 lead people at a major studio for Microsoft. You can't act like goddamn amateurs. So yeah. As for the sexism stuff and the fucking harassment, that's never ever acceptable. HR Ninja, you work in HR. I'm sure you would have fun things to say to them if you were their HR rep.
Or would.
How
what the fuck?
Yeah, as an HR rep, would you just literally go to that meeting and be like, what the fuck?
What the fuck? Yeah.
And then you have the work side of it, which is, I've worked jobs that require a shit ton of overtime.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a job where I once had a 30-hour shift. But that was in healthcare,
right?
Where if I leave, these people could get hurt or fuck themselves up, and then that I'm understanding, right? It's okay, well, if I leave, these people are screwed. But like, this is video games, and if a video game gets delayed by a month or two, it's okay. Like, there's so much shit that comes out, and like, and even from the corporate side, like, let's say you're a stockholder, and you're like, well, I want that big boost to profits now to boost stock value. It's like, can't you just get that boost to profits next quarter? Or whatever like, I don't get why they freak out so hard about this shit. Like, it has to be out now.
Yeah, right.
Like, it doesn't make sense from and then you also have like the fact that people who. So I have a question for everyone here. How long can you work in a week before you're like burnt and doing worse work? Because we all work 40 here, right?
Yeah.
More or less.
Yeah.
Like, realistically, because like for me, it's about 50.
Probably pushing. Yeah.
50 is probably my cap. Because I did 60-hour weeks last year, and 60 is my hard cap. If like, dude, and 60, I'm a moody, like, my work declines. I fucking like, it's not a good time. So now imagine that, and even if it's a job you're passionate about and you really like, like, imagine doing like a 80-hour week every week.
I was, until I needed the money, I had negotiated a 32-hour work week. So like, yeah, I would definitely be one of those people who's like, I'm working the required amount. If I'm really passionate about the game, sure, especially as someone who's like single and doesn't have really a whole lot of commitments, like, yeah, sure, I might be into that, but
well, that's why they've said game development is always a young man's game, because like, a lot of those dudes are single or just dating, or same thing with women, and they're like, well, I got time and energy, and I'm passionate about it, so let's go. But even then, like, what is the most you'd be willing to work on a passion project per week? Assuming that it was your full-time job.
Right. Well, I think, yeah, I don't know, 40 to 50 hours. Like, I still need me time, even if with a passion project. Like, you need to be able to rest.
Yeah, I like, for me, it's like about 50. If it's a passion project I'm just super stoked on, I can maybe do 60.
Sure.
Maybe. That's if I don't have any other commitments going on and I'm just super into it. So, yeah. So yeah, like, you're just getting, because I can tell you, my work, when I'm doing 40 hours only, or even 32, is significantly better than my work when I was doing 60. Significantly better. Because I'm actually rested and refreshed and good to go.
Right.
So, yeah. So,
yeah, that's rough.
Unfortunately, this also probably isn't going to get the cleanup that it so desperately needs.
No.
Yep.
Because they're not like a Blizzard, where they're a big corporate entity that the state of California is going to mess with.
It basically has to be less people apply to this studio. Like, that's what former developers from that studio are saying, is like, just go somewhere else. And
there are definitely not a shortage of programmer and artist jobs in the video game industry.
Right.
Production, you're kind of good luck. So yeah, in more bad news, so supposedly we're getting a 3090 Ti, which is hilarious because the 4000 series will probably be out within the next year.
Right.
And it apparently is going to be $4,000.
Why?
It's half the price of my car.
That means the only people who can't afford it are the people who have been reselling these things.
Right?
Like, what?
You crypto mine. You crypto mine so you can afford to buy a better graphics card. Crypto mine more.
Those jerks.
To be fair, prices have been going down recently.
Okay.
But it's still gross. I think I had an opportunity at 3060 for like $500 not that long ago.
Mm-hmm.
Which is still way more than you should be paying for a 60 level card, but it's still like it's not like the worst thing I've ever heard, at least. Still far too much. Yeah, this thing's ridiculous. It's 24 gigs of video RAM, freaking super fast clock speed, like probably will require like at least 1,000-watt power supply and take down the whole grid if you plug two of them in the same house. I don't know, Ninja, what's your thoughts on this? You built these bastards as well.
Yeah, like between this and like the price of cars and the price of like technology in general, it's very depressing. Like this shit is finally starting to come down in price, but then they come out and like, hey, MSRP is $4,000, or it's probably $4,000. It's like, really, dude? Like,
it's like you didn't make enough of a surplus during this pandemic. Like really,
and like it's. I've been a big proponent of like PC gaming and building your own PC and like, dude, all that kind of stuff. Like, you just fucking buy a console now. Like,
yeah. No, I used to be such a like, I had a good like 7 to 8 year period of like, dude, yeah, build a PC. It's great. Go do it. It's the way to go. If I were not streaming as much as I am currently and playing games that are only on PC, like Guild Wars and Final Fantasy on console, but I'd never play an MMO on a fucking controller. Like it's, I'd be like, fuck this noise.
Yeah.
Like super hard. It's so bad. Oh my god. Like it's just like, because what I was like recently shopping for like a friend to help her find a new gaming PC. And first off, NZXT, do not sleep on their pre-builts. They're getting good. And they actually don't cut corners, which was even more impressive.
Nice.
But like a good streaming PC, for them with like a 5800X, a 3070 Ti, and terabyte M.2 and good power supply is $2,000. Like, and then if you want one that has just a regular 3070, you're looking at 1,800. And like, I looked at that and I'm just like, dude, PC gaming's fucked. Like, high-end PC gaming is fucked. There's like just
100%.
Like, there's no way. Like, their starter level PC is like, their starting PC is $1,100. It used to be you get a starting PC for like $700 to $800.
Right.
And this thing has a 3050 in it for $1,100. Like, dude, just it's sad. It's sad too, because like it's like the hobby is so much fun. Like, building your own PC is fun as hell. And then like you building your own PC is a great time, and it's you're proud, and it run when you have the right build, it runs games well and looks really well. Like, they have a pre-built for $800 that has a fucking APU in it. Like, what?
Jeez.
Yeah.
But then you look at like building one, and it's not much better. You might save like $100 if you like pirate the OS.
Right.
Like,
oh god damn it, it's rough out there. For people who
instead
don't
of
have
making
a
this
computer,
monster graphics transition, focusing on decreasing overhead cost of making the mid-range cards. The thing is, I bet you this card has been ready for 2 years. Like, this is literally just cashing in again because Nvidia is super anti-consumer.
yeah, that also.
Yep, that is true.
This thing is probably like, it's the full, it's the, as it says here in the article, it is the full GA 102. So the architecture and like everything for this has been ready for years now. So that just means they were waiting till now to put it out. So fuck them for that as well. But Like it's God. But like, what are you gonna do? Buy AMD? Lol.
Oh, it's sad, but yeah,
They got closer this time, at least. Like, at least
sure.
if you bought Red Team this time, you just weren't totally embarrassed.
Right.
So
yeah. So it sucks. I know. I think both of us are in the market for a good graphics card with us streaming what we do.
yeah, absolutely. I would love a new one.
Like, yeah, what's happened with this whole graphics card drama? Like, nope. We're gonna see what happens with these next round of cards and see if they do anything in regards to scalping or crypto mining or whatever.
Probably not.
Probably not, because it makes them money either way.
Yeah, they get profit. I mean, like, and then to be fair, if you have like, depending on what you're playing, a 10 or 20 series card is totally adequate.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that if you're streaming and then playing high end games, or you're running 2 streams at the same time,
Yeah.
then you're kind of running into some bottlenecks. It's just like, because what is the most graphically intense game on Steam right now? Somebody give me a suggestion.
I don't know. Elden Ring's not too.
It's
pretty good graphics.
I remember it had
go with Crisis Remastered, but that's over on Epic.
Okay, so yeah, like the recommended for is a 1070. That's still pretty beefy.
Yeah.
Like that's
Aberrant Drones suggests Cyberpunk.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Hold on. Sorry, I have that game. I didn't play much of it because it was such a mess.
Right.
Apparently it's good now, but I also haven't played like any of it. Exactly.
I'll probably double back on it eventually. I love the whole idea of Cyberpunk.
Sure.
So like a 1060 or 1660 Super, and then an i7 4790 is the recommended for 1080p.
Okay.
So not horrible, but like, our Ghostwire that just came out.
There you go.
Or it requires a 6700K and a 1080 as the recommended.
Okay.
That's pretty beefy. Like, that's like the equivalent of a 3060 right now. Except 3060 has a better architecture because, newer.
Right. Aberrant Drone says new shooters now are probably pretty demanding when all the explosions and stuff is going on.
Yeah, I was actually playing Guild Wars last night, and one of the world events made the game drop down to 30.
Ooh.
Yeah, there was so many people.
All right.
It was fucking crazy. It was really cool.
Nice.
Once again, restroom, diuretics, Ninja and Aaron, can you take care of the rest of the story?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. Did he read the end of this article? I missed it. Must be a force to be reckoned with. It's tough to believe that it will be twice as expensive as a regular RTX 3090, so take this information with a metric ton of salt. But Momomo_US did tweet out that AMD was releasing a bunch of new Ryzen chips in April, just last week. These 3090 Ti's could simply be placeholder prices so that this retailer can create the listing on its back end to update later as we get closer to release. Though with how the GPU market has been the last few years, anything is possible. So guess what? Wait.
Yeah. I would bet that it's going to be right around $4,000. NVIDIA is not like super pro consumer. So whatever can make them the most money is what they're going to do.
If anything, this is like taking advantage of the fact that there are people who are just going to buy this outright to resale. So why not bump the price up? This isn't going to be for consumers. This is just to get as much money as they can from crypto miners, which when you talk about it in that sense, that sounds all right. But
yeah.
Might as well take their money. But if that doesn't lead to proper graphics cards at decent prices, that they take some sort of action to limit getting into scalpers' hands, like one per person or something like that. I don't know. It's frustrating as hell.
It's a sad state for the PC building community.
Yeah, like Bronson said, the NZXT pre-builts may be the way to go. If you're looking for just a gaming machine console, really, it should be your way to go. You're definitely gonna have to do some sleuthing for certain consoles, but you can do it. It can be done. But yeah, it's just a shame because I have a number of things that I do not have a lot of money, and I need to choose wisely what I spend it on. And unfortunately, graphics card, just due to the amount of streaming that we do, is up there on my list, but purely due to the prices going on right now. Like, I just don't. I can't justify, especially as we get closer to 4,000 release. Like, I can't justify spending, even as the prices come down on some of these higher end cards. I'm just like, this is still not. This isn't worth it. Yeah. Yep.
No way.
So I don't know. Just yesterday, I was looking at AMD cards and seeing what people thought of AMD versus NVIDIA, and NVIDIA is just like ahead, like in just everything, but also NVIDIA has just terrible to consumers. So it's this awful situation that, man, remember when these came out and they were like, these are going to be some cheap ass cards and they're a real jump in graphics. That was awesome.
Yes. Those were the days.
Yeah. Aberdrone says, if the next gen of console switched to native M&K support, then PC gaming would probably die out pretty quick. I don't know about die out, but they would probably.
I think it'd be a pretty big blow for sure. And I think that they both, the PS5 and the Xbox, have mouse and keyboard support. I know my wife plays Call of Duty with mouse and keyboard on her Xbox.
Xbox, I would be shocked if they didn't have mouse and keyboard support. Sony, they should at this point, especially as all consoles are, well, except for Nintendo, are getting closer to PCs. Right. I would expect it, but I don't know. I don't have a PS5 right now, and I don't have my PS4 hooked up, so I don't know. I have not tested that out. I assume with games like, I don't know, Final Fantasy 11 and Final Fantasy 14 being playable on PlayStation consoles, you would think there would be mouse and keyboard support at least for some games.
Yep, there is for 14. I can confirm at least that it has mouse and keyboard support on the PS5 and PS4.
Let's investigate. We're going to do some internet investigation. Mouse and keyboard, PlayStation 5. Loading. Internet. How to use a keyboard and mouse with a PS5 from How to Geek. Yeah, you don't like using the controller for passwords. I agree. It says you can do it. Note that unless a game specifically includes support for a keyboard and mouse as input devices, you won't be able to use them. So it's a game-by-game basis.
Yeah, things like Call of Duty, Final Fantasy 14, Overwatch, Elder Scrolls Online, and a couple others.
According to this article was written in September 2021, and at that time, there were no PS5 games that supported keyboard and mouse. Oof.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, that seems like something Sony should get on. I'm shocked at that, but
leaving you can sell a controller for $80. I mean, like,
right? Yeah. Here's our special PlayStation keyboard and mouse. It's $100. Enjoy.
Yeah, you'll pay it and you'll like it.
Hello.
Yes. Hi.
I agree with the point in the chat that if you play FF14 with a keyboard on PS5, there's no reason to bother paying triple the price for a PC.
Yep, 100%.
Yes, exactly. We were just saying PlayStation 5 should be able to just support keyboard and mouse control at this point.
Yeah, Xbox totally does.
Because Xbox totally does, and you would understand why that would happen. But Sony, I feel like PS4, that should have been the sign that they need to start doing that, and then PS5 should have had that included, but it's a game-by-game basis.
PS5 is just so committed to being like a traditional console, but also a PC in both of the worst ways possible. And it's hilarious. But, people really want one and like those exclusives, so they're willing to pay it.
They're selling, Yep.
But
yeah, so this graphic card news, not great. We'll continue waiting.
And it's one of those things where, Well, they do, but some games do not see triggers. Yeah, exactly. Versus like, like a lot of Xbox games do. I know Xbox does for the menus, and like they're getting better. So yeah.
Yeah. So all right, fine, great.
Yes. So, hopefully things get better.
Hopefully. Well, I mean, like better is going to be like, yeah. Let's see what happens with the 4,000 announcement.
Yeah, no, it's here's hoping that the 4,000 series they've made plenty because they got the orders in during COVID this time because they have to do their allocations like years in advance. So here's hoping that like all that's sorted this time.
Right.
So
all right.
Anyway, going forward here, pulling up our little docket. Hey, that war in the Ukraine is still happening.
It sure is.
God. And to help, Humble Bundle is putting out the Stand with Ukraine bundle, where if you pay $40, you get a ton of really dope video games.
Yeah.
Like Back 4 Blood and Metro Exodus Enhanced Edition, Spyro Reignited Trilogy, Max Payne 3, Fable Anniversary, This War of Mine, which, man, yeah, you want to talk about a game that perfectly illustrates what this shit is.
Yeah.
Play that one.
Ugh.
Yeah. No, and it's this thing where it's really cool that they're doing this. It goes to a good cause. You can pay anything $4 up if you want to get all these games, and that's a great deal. I mean, Back 4 Blood alone is probably worth that. So, you're getting Skullgirls Second Encore, you're getting, I think, Super Hot's in here, War Groove.
Yep.
Number of games, but like, yeah, you get 3 Amnesias.
Yep.
So Monaco, Drawful 2, that's a good party game.
Next Monica, great one.
That's a good game.
Broken Age.
Brothers, Tale of Two Sons, also a great game.
Yep. Army of Darkness, one-shot Humble Bundle.
You got Rustler, which is Medieval Bully.
Great. So yeah, and 100% of it go to supporting the victims and refugees from Ukraine during the crisis. Features over 120 pieces of content. So yeah, if you got the $40 and you want a bunch of great games, then go to a good cause. Here you go. I do love the top donators page at the bottom because they have some really like great things here. Like number 31, guy doing $456. Glory to Ukraine. We got 39, $420, $420.69. Make memes, not war.
There you go. There you go.
A link to the refugee situation and how Dota 2 is helping it. But a bunch of different stuff like this. Evan Stucker likes virtual war-torn dystopian hellscapes, not real ones. There was another really good one I saw. Imagine being rich enough for a top 10 slot. The number one guy, Olga and John, $10,000.
Holy hell!
Kristen and Jeff also $10,000.
Wow.
So
just letting y'all know, if I have my math correct, this sale ends Friday morning, which means like
Friday at midnight. I might pick this up.
Well, I mean, like Friday morning, so like it'll be done by then. But so this podcast comes out Tuesday. I don't know when we'll get the video up on YouTube, but
typically Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah, if you want this, act fast. So
peace on earth, power to the people. Don't allow autocracy. There was a really good one that I think got taken down because it was inappropriate. It was like telling Putin to kill himself.
Yeah, I can see why.
I agree with honest.
Both. Yeah.
If I was the person running this,
I mean, sure.
Yes, I would be like, yeah, fucking poot and kill yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Do the world a favor.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see how that goes.
But I also understand.
Some guy donated $13.37.
Nice.
Leet.
Sure.
Nice. Very nice.
Hell yeah.
Oh goodness. Yep.
Yeah. No. This is. So yeah, a lot of good ones on here. A lot of good people. Goes to a good cause. Apparently, the average person has spent $44.17. So they've gone a little above and beyond.
Yeah.
I think the best thing about this is I own a lot of these, so I'll have gifts to give out for a while.
Right. Exactly.
Yep.
The new Toe Jam and Earl is in here.
Ooh.
All right.
Shame the new Battletoads is in here.
Yeah.
Speaking of icons from the 90s and late 80s.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't know, they got a PDF Suite Standard Music Maker EDM edition. Photo Optimizer, RPG Maker. There's a lot of good shit in here. Game Creator Studio.
Hell yeah,
So,
Slinger VR. I'm gonna look at this later.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in here. It goes to a good cause. Go get your free video games.
Well, yes, essentially.
Yes, because you're donating to a good cause is probably why you should be donating to this. But
I mean, here, how many games are in this?
A lot.
Okay.
Like I didn't count.
It's over here.
123 items. Not all of them are games, though.
No, not all of them are games. That is something like they have a RPG Maker in here, which is cool.
They are games. Just some of them are like
tabletop. Yep.
Yeah.
It's like a pen and paper.
Yep.
Yep.
If you paid the minimum, which is $40, each of these is $3.08.
Yep.
So
I'd pay $3.08 a game for all these games.
Yep.
Don't know how many I will fuck around with.
And that's fine.
In all honesty.
I
need Skullgirls. Don't own that on PC yet.
Right. They got a couple VR games in here, which I'm excited about.
Kind of want to dip back into Max Payne 3 for the first time in forever, because I talk a lot of shit about that game and I get a lot of pushback.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's
check that out.
Yeah, all goes to a good cause, everybody.
Okay, Treasure Hunter Simulator sounds great.
There's
a game in this bundle called Treasure Hunter Simulator, and I think that's fantastic.
That is pretty great. All right, so speaking of good news in the game industry,
yeah,
Devolver co-founder announces new publisher focused on games that improve mental health.
Yeah.
Devolver Digital co-founder Mike Wilson is beginning to make a habit of turning career disillusionment into hope. He's been candid in the past about his fall into his first major endeavor. Gamecock Media Group was a good thing. Its efforts to lampoon the industry were more bully than benevolent. But that led to Devolver Digital keeping the good-natured snark while redefining indie relationship with publishers. He also co-founded Good Shepherd and further pushed back against what he saw as harmful practice in indie publishing, and joined the board of Gaming Mental Health Charity. And he's done numerous speaking engagements on the importance of good mental health, drawing from his own struggles and personal experiences. Part of the problem in an increasingly crowded, messy, often toxic, and sometimes predatory games industry, yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
He tells me he felt done with digital everything. He was in a headspace during a pseudo-retirement where he met Ryan Douglas, a roboticist and former CEO of a medical device company, who was in a similar state of disillusionment in the medtech industry. The two began playing tennis together and talking about their respective fields, eventually arriving in which ways eventually arriving on the ways in which others had tried and failed to bring games and health together. The numerous benefits video games had on mental health, especially, for instance, he receiving letters from all over the world about how Devolver published Fall Guys had helped with depression during the heights of lockdown. And more personally, he was watching his son play games with friends during the same time, socializing and enjoying himself even when they couldn't meet in person. But games certainly had that impact anecdotally. Mainstream gaming was unable to capitalize on the power without medical knowledge, tools, and resources. So, in short, what they're trying to do is, publish and make games that are there to, help, with that and get it into the hands of people who will actually enjoy them.
Yeah.
So,
it's really good idea.
Yes, great idea. Super cool, super beneficial. I think that it's hopefully this actually goes somewhere, because like one of my big problems with initiatives like this is they never end up fucking going anywhere.
Sure.
It's like they happen, they come out, people are excited, and then there's no money in this, or there's no whatever in this, and no one stays. Right. So
well,
cool thing.
Yeah. I wish the best for them. I hope they can make it all work.
Same. Yes.
For sure.
All right. Next story.
Next story. Mario Kart 8. It has its first 8 of 48 courses out.
Okay.
8. So it's out. If you have the expansion pass, you have access to this. If not, $25 standalone purchase for all of them. In this particular one, you're getting a bunch of crap from Mario Kart Tour. Yuck. You're getting Choco Mountain from Mario Kart 64. Fuck yeah. Toad Circuit from Mario Kart 3DS. Coconut Mall from Mario Kart Wii. Shroom Ridge from Mario Kart DS. And Sky Garden from Mario Kart Advance. So, Coconut Mall and Choco Mountain are both amazing. I could give a fuck about those Mario Kart Tour tracks.
I mean, I'm down for more tracks, regardless.
Yeah, I know. It's just ugh.
What? Because it's associated with Mario Kart Tour?
Yes, exactly.
Whether or not they're good tracks or not.
Like, I don't have faith in them being good tracks, though, from what I remember playing that game, because they're simplified because phone. You know,
I mean, I'd have to see which ones they do. I played for a little bit, but I
tried it when it came out. Like, I tried it when it came out, and I was like, this is what it is.
I enjoyed it for the most part, but it was just down to the microtransactions and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, yep, done.
Yep. It is phone game.
Yep.
The RNG system in it was a turnoff, but I remember some of the tracks being all right.
Yeah, we'll see. Also, there's a recent report that says Mario Kart 9 is in, quote, active development.
Ooh.
So
I bet it is.
I bet they want to make a pile of money.
Mm-hmm.
They're milking this one for all it's worth, and I think like they're still well in that. They're in that sweet spot of this game is like. This game is like everyone's playing it. Like, yes, add more tracks. It's a really good, comprehensive Mario Kart.
Yeah, no, with these 48 tracks, this will be the biggest and probably best Mario Kart. I kind of don't know where you can take it after this unless you just do one with every track and character ever.
That's what I'm
like you pull a Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Aberrant says Paris sucks. Absolutely the worst.
The city or the track or both?
Wait.
I would hope the track.
He says
not gonna lie, it'd be funny if he said both.
Yeah.
Oh God.
That'd be funny. He also mentioned when we were talking in the previous thing, there's a chill MMO in the works called Palia. I'm looking this up.
I'm super excited for that game.
Really? This is the first I'm hearing of it.
The big MMO I'm excited for is Ashes of Creation.
Right.
It looks very chill. It's very different from like a normal MMO. It looks very chill.
This sounds all right.
I mean, Final Fantasy is already super.
It's already
chill.
pretty chill, but this seems like it's like centered around the chillness. Like,
it's very pretty. I'll say that. Looking at it.
Yeah. What type of?
But
game?
yeah, like it's what now?
I like that comment chat.
Oh, the track. I'll stay silent on their terrible city. Good job. Nailed it.
Pre-alpha ad starting soon. Okay, cool. I don't know. Like it's, this doesn't immediately spark my interest. Like I said, Ashes of Creation is the one where I'm like, ooh, let's go.
Well, that's why we're trying to do duo streams at the same time, and now we can do both because this seems up my alley.
So yeah, we got as for other Nintendo news this week, kind of minor. Alien Soldier, Light Crusader, and Super Fantasy Zone are coming to the Genesis Online system for Nintendo Switch, joining Majora's Mask this month, or F-Zero this month, Majora's Mask last month.
All right.
So, and that same expansion pass gets you all those earlier mentioned Mario Kart tracks. So,
right.
They're trying to make your $50 worth it at least.
At least.
So, as for the next news story we got here, it is that I have a very strong feeling a lot of people are going to be canceling their Netflix sub soon.
You don't say.
Like, very soon, because fuck them for this.
Holy hell.
All streaming services, Amazon, Netflix, Hulu, whatever the fuck, I want you to know this. Okay? The reason we moved from cable is ads and shit like this. Okay? It's on 110% the reason. And you are, you're doing this, you're making the same mistakes, and all you are going to do is bring back piracy. That's all you're going to do. Like, the golden age of piracy will happen again.
It's already starting. Like, we're leading into it.
Like, it's just, like, it's literally just, you are diving back. You don't think people, like, what's going to happen is, like, everyone is just going to fucking pirate all this shit. Like, you'll have one sub, you'll record everything, and then trade it with your friends, your recordings on hard drives to your friends who have the other thing. That's what's going to end up happening.
Yep.
You're not going to make more profits. This just seems like a fucking dumb corporate move, because, let's see, my Netflix add-in, let's see, I'm going to be fair, sharing passwords is piracy. That, like, okay, but, like, it's not. They allow you to. They even let you have multiple profiles for reasons like this. Like, so, but what they're doing is they're testing out a feature. So it comes after months of announces raising its price. It also just raised its fucking prices.
Yep.
Like, it's now $20 a month. Part of the reason why Netflix was so appealing, it was affordable. You know, like, Netflix, when, like, I started streaming on Netflix, it was like $10, $8.
Yep.
You know, and you also got DVDs too.
Yep.
Now you don't get the DVDs, and it's $20 fucking dollars. Like, Game Pass is $15.
And they're doing these price increases while knowing that, like, everyone's followed their lead, and now everything has a streaming service, and now all this content is becoming exclusive to these streaming services.
Yes, exactly. That too. Like, instead of just having, like, Netflix and then, like, Hulu, you have Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, Crunchyroll, HBO Max.
While inflation is going on, while gas prices are way up.
While inflation is happening, like, this was a good way to save money.
Yep.
And now it's slowly not becoming that.
Yep.
Because, let's see, I pay for Disney Plus, Netflix, and technically Amazon, though Amazon I'm not paying for the TV shows. I'm just, paying for the shipping.
Right.
And the other perks. But, like, but I'm still paying a total of 8, 20, 28 plus 30, like, like, fucking, 30s, like high 30s every month. Still not cable pricing, but it's still, like, expensive. And not only is it expensive on its own, right? And there's the fact that it is this thing where you're locked into certain services for what you want. Because, like, for example, I love Peacemaker. Peacemaker was my favorite show of the past year. I highly recommend it to almost anybody. It's a fantastic show. It's funny. It's well shot. It has great music. And the only reason I have that is it's free with my phone service, but it's $15. And then Netflix is $20. And then Disney is $8. And Amazon, if you want Amazon, is $13. And how much is Crunchyroll? Does anyone know?
Not a clue.
I'm looking it up now. Hold on.
No.
It does say in Netflix's terms of service may not be shared with individuals beyond your household. But, yeah.
Okay, I travel a lot. That's what I'm going to say to them. Fuck you.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I hang out at my friend's house a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Crunchyroll, depending on what you want, I just pulled it up. It's $8 to $15,
Okay.
depending on how many devices, how much you want of time.
Yeah.
You know, so if you want like the fucking the big thing where it's like you get all their stuff, it's 10, and if you want some additional stuff like extra figures, a swag bag, and extra money off purchases in their store, it's 15.
Okay.
And I'm just like, you know, and I'm just like, bruh, like I can't, like it breaks my brain sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I get it, inflation's bad, everyone's hitting, but like we're also having record profits. It's just like
Right, from these companies.
Every quarter.
Yep.
and not only that, but like in the case of the anime companies, especially, like merch is so fucking expensive.
Yep.
So ungodly expensive.
Aberdeen points out that they're about to combine with Funimation, so I imagine a price increase is going to come.
Yeah, probably.
With that,
probably I can see that.
So
I can see
Thank God though that they're using the Crunchyroll player, not the Funimation player. That Funimation player is terrible.
To be fair, they're both bad in my opinion.
They are, but Crunchyroll is like miles ahead of the Funimation player.
Yes, yes, that I will agree with. But go on.
Oh, that was it. I'm good.
That was it. Just had to make that
off my
point.
soapbox. Yeah.
Yeah, like just it's so frustrating.
Yep. So,
like, do you remember when you were getting like all these services for like $8 a month each, and it was like your total bill was like $35? It was awesome.
Right, yeah, no, and then it was and oh man, and I also remember how to pirate. Let me tell you, that I haven't forgotten that. I know how to do that. Football has kept me in practice.
Let me tell you. uTorrent is your friend.
Are we still doing uTorrent, or did we move? Because like
that's what I'm still using. Is there a new thing?
There's a Qbit torrent. I didn't tell you this, but there's Qbit torrent.
I've heard from sources.
If you just happen to stumble across these piracy places,
bad people go to these sites.
Yeah, they go to these places. I don't. I know we don't.
No, not at all. No, I just know it's important to know as people who report on these stories.
Yeah, it's important to know.
There's still a lot of fan sub groups for the anime folks out there.
There are also plenty of anime streaming websites that are
Yeah, anime. That's
the anime community got you.
Right?
They are just like, we know you don't want to pay for shit.
Yeah, that and sports. If you know where to look.
Sports is harder. I've always had trouble with like getting sports, but like they're there for sure.
I can tell you about a thing.
But I also live in Reno, which has a bar every 10 feet if I really want to go watch sports.
That's the thing. Like, especially when it comes to the football. Like, man, going to a bar to do that is fun.
Yeah, it's a great time.
But you can't do that with like a Netflix bar. Like a streaming service bar, you have a little iPad screen. Yeah, exactly. How about this password sharing, Yeah.
Actually, that might not be a bad business thing. Like you rent a booth.
Yeah.
You like rent a booth, and that booth is like has like a couch and like snacks, and like you pay by the hour.
So the problem is like,
and it's a streaming service of your choice.
Right. No, you could totally select. You pay for each streaming service. The problem is Netflix would, and all the streaming services would catch on to that and be like, all right, it's time for business plans.
Yeah, but like, man, your first like year or two of it, you're probably pulling some fat checks.
Yeah.
I can't confirm this, but I have heard if you turn off hardware acceleration on your browser, you can stream sites through Discord, so you can have watch parties that way.
Sources have told me. Have told me this.
Sources, people you may know somewhere, sort of.
Yeah.
Lord Almighty.
But this is what happens, and I think this year is going to be the year we're going to see it. I don't think it'll be like a big, massive wave because like there are people who will suck it up and just do this. But
I mean, that's what I'm doing right now.
I mean, that's what I'm doing right now too. But like the moment I'm canceling my Netflix before this goes into effect, which is what day?
They haven't said. They said they're just testing this feature.
I
Yeah,
swore there was a.
testing
What was the
out,
date for the price increase?
It was the next month, I believe.
Yes.
Which like $20 Netflix? You need to know now. $20 is my cap. I have plenty of shit to watch that is not on Netflix.
Netflix has been getting rid of shows I like,
and you are also by far the most expensive.
Right.
You're $5 more than HBO Max, which has tons of good shit. You're more than Hulu and Disney Plus together.
Mm-hmm.
You're more than the premium version of Crunchyroll.
Yep.
Like, I don't get why you're this so and I think it's partially brand, but it's nah, son.
Yep. Bye, Netflix.
Yeah, no, peace, dude. It's been a fun ride.
Yes, it really has. Again, like you said, when this started, man.
I'm gonna when I'll pay for a month when the next season of Cobra Kai comes out.
Yep.
It's
Haber and Drone. Today's podcast is brought to you by today's sponsor, Pirates of the Cybernet.
Today's podcast is brought to you by piracy,
which is funny because the last episode was live from the Pirate Bay.
That's funny.
I'm detecting a theme.
That's good timing.
And we were basically a Sea of Thieves channel for like a year.
Yeah, right.
So,
quick side note. I was just thinking about this. Like, you stay out of Sea of Thieves long enough, you come back and they just give you a level. I wonder if we were to go back in now, if we could just get Pirate Legend and then uninstall.
We'd still have to finish the last episode, but yes.
Oh, you're right. We have to finish. Pirate
Also,
Life.
it's only one at a time. It doesn't stack.
What?
Those free levels, they don't stack.
What do you mean they don't stack?
Like, if you only get one.
I've gotten a number, but it's like every few months, right?
No, it's one per month or two.
Well, right, exactly. So you just go in once each month.
Right. I'm saying that if you miss 2 months, you don't get two.
No, exactly. No,
yeah.
I'm just saying we're so close. Like, it would only take one.
I think I literally just need one.
Yeah, you need one, and I need one some change. So
yeah. So So anyway, moving on. Moving on to other TV show news. Miss Marvel got a trailer.
Hey.
It looks like so generic superhero with a little bit of style to it, I guess. Just a little bit. The music seems interesting. They got our costume right. But for the most part, I'm just it's very to me.
I mean, it seems like a superhero movie.
It doesn't entice me the way Moon Knight did, for example, or Doctor Strange does.
Which, by the way, 10 days.
Yeah, fuck yeah, 10 days.
10 days for
let's go.
Which one?
Moon Knight.
Oh,
Moon Knight.
okay. You guys have to tell me how that is.
It's coming to Disney Plus on June 8th is when it starts. They put out the poster. The poster looks cool, I guess. It's very much it's, I don't know, it just feels like a generic superhero thing. It doesn't have any of the twists that any of the other of these have had. WandaVision's weird, mind fuckery, the politics of Winter Soldier, the more mind fuckery and time stuff of Loki. It just doesn't have anything that stands out to me.
It looks like a kind of a Spider-Man situation of young kid becomes superhero. How do they deal with that?
Basically.
Which
How do they handle school and superheroism?
Yeah, which
But I'm also sitting here going yeah, but Spider-Man exists.
We'll see.
Yeah, I'll watch it, but it almost feels like they're phoning it in on this one.
Yeah, which is a shame because Miss Marvel, as we saw in the Avengers game, can be really cool.
And I mean, there's nothing in this to me that says it won't be that.
Yeah,
it's a trailer,
It's a trailer, but like usually a trailer like can get me excited via vibe and tone. Like that, like I watched that Doctor Strange trailer, and I'm like, this looks fucking incredible.
Sure.
You know, like I watch the, for example, the Moon Knight trailer. I'm like, this looks freaky as fuck. I'm down.
Let's see. Aberrant Drone says Miss Marvel suffers from the same issues as Superman. No interest in her character. Right. I forgot that Miss Marvel is different from Captain Marvel because that's not confusing. You know, I'm sure they'll address that in the.
They do address it in the comics, at least. I can't speak for the this.
Right. My problem with Miss Marvel is I've never been interested in her power set in the same way I've never been interested in like Mr. Fantastic set. Like I get it, it's a power. There's a lot of things you could do with it, but it just like I don't know. I don't think it's as cool as some of the other superheroes.
Yeah, I mean, when you're in the same universe as like Moon Knight and Doctor Strange and shit, it's like it's hard. That's real fucking hard to deal with. I don't know. I don't know. She seems fine.
Yeah, I'm sure
we'll
hear
watch
about
it for the show.
Yeah,
like
this is supposed to be a new take on her powers. That like they adjusted it for the MCU version. That seems interesting. That is something I'm going to want to hear from Miss Marvel fans about.
Yeah, I'm curious, and also she's a very niche character that doesn't have a whole like huge fandom the way a Moon Knight does. So I always like when they do characters
have a huge fandom.
No, like at least
he will when this gets released.
Maybe
he will. A vocal fandom at least. They have a vocal fandom. Like I was at my local game/comic shop, and like they had Moon Knight posters and shit.
Interesting.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah. So,
I will say though. I will say. She's going to have some stiff competition as far as viewership.
What's out in June?
To the release of Miss Marvel is Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh man.
Fuck. In the chat, Drone, I love Moon Knight.
Okay. Like I said on a previous stream, I don't know if it was the podcast, but the moment I found out Moon Knight was not the memes, like I lost all interest.
He is the memes a little bit. Like he has some of that in his comics, especially specific runs.
Okay.
So it depends on who you're looking for. Like there's totally issues of comics where he just shit talks Spider-Man the entire time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll wait to hear what people think of the movie.
Also, if you want a dark horror psychological mind fuck, that's what Moon Knight is for.
Okay. That's nice. Aberrant Drone, I used him in the Hero Clicks game. Wow, yeah. And he was a strong part of my team. Haven't read any of his comics. All right.
Yeah, he's cool. He's kind of like Marvel Batman with superpowers.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It's out the same time as Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's going to be right after Doctor Strange, right before Thor. This is a hard one. This one seems like it's going to be a hard sell, so it's going to have to be really good.
Right.
Is the short of it. But
yeah, especially stuck between Doctor Strange and Thor, like just that's going to be ridiculous, out of this world stuff. And then here's, kid coming into their own with superpowers while trying to balance high school life. Which already has me not interested because I just was not interested in that with Spider-Man. But
like Spider-Man at least has the advantage of it's motherfucking Spider-Man.
Well, right, yeah, no, it's obviously a harder sell because they're trying to, get this newer character going. But stretch.
Doctor Strange 2 and Spider-Man director, the great Sam Raimi, wants to direct a Batman movie.
Please, for the love of all that is holy, please.
Give it to him.
He does great job with that kind of stuff. And like you go watch Evil Dead and like Army of Darkness and Ash versus Evil Dead, like you watch all that and you can see him do a fucking amazing, like Like, imagine if he did like Hush, right? Or like if he did like the Long Halloween.
Sure.
Dude.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That would be so good.
So dope. I would be so down for that. That was a fun thing I just wanted to bring up. All right, we have the last piece of news we have before we get into what we've been playing. We'll take a quick break, then we get into what we've been playing, I should say.
Yep.
Is, hey, new Sonic 2 movie poster looks just like the Sonic 2 game art, and it is awesome.
It looks sick.
So excited. So good.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Yeah. All right.
For side-by-side comparison.
It's
we have
good.
for the video version.
Go.
Mm-hmm.
From that list of movies, I'm worried he'll make the darkest Batman movie ever. Gonna need dark vision goggles to see what's happening.
I figured that was the last Batman movie.
The most recent Batman movie basically was that already. So
it's the 1980s. We're releasing a darker and more grittier Batman movie.
Yeah.
It's the 1990s. We're releasing a darker and more grittier Batman movie.
2000s.
The early 2000s. We're releasing a darker and grittier Batman movie.
The 2020s. No.
I mean, 1990s
We're releasing it.
Was Adam West.
I get the concern.
But yeah, look at this. Looks great.
It's so good. Yeah.
And that welcome to the next level thing, that was Sega's one of their marketing taglines with the Genesis.
Right.
Yep.
Like, such good fan service there. Holy shit.
Yep.
Well, I didn't even notice Knuckles' eyes in that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's very good. I was
sick.
not happy with the first movie at all.
I was very indifferent to the first movie.
Yeah. But
Like, I remember I saw that movie, like, that was the last movie I saw in theaters before the pandemic, so you can imagine how good that made me feel about it.
right.
But I remember going to, like, I wasn't super enthused about it. I was like so concerned, but like I woke up fairly early to go see a Saturday morning showing, and I went to see it for the podcast, and I came out and I was just like, that was so unbelievably mediocre. There were a couple of good scenes.
Yes.
Especially involving Jim Carrey.
Yes, especially.
Yep.
But like for the most part, very, very very.
Yeah, it very much struck me as like they don't entirely know what they're doing with Sonic, but like that showed with the model that they used originally, and like, but they brought that guy in to fix it up. And everything about the marketing, everything I've seen of this so far strikes me as, okay, now they're getting the people who care about Sonic involved, and from the start.
I have a conspiracy theory about that.
Okay.
So I think their marketing is on point, and I think that first rendition of Sonic was a plant to get them to re-release this Sonic, but to build just a shit ton of hype around the movie.
So that's the theory I used to subscribe to. But like ever since seeing, first of all, I found out recently they had made toys with the original design, which like you put that much money into this, like,
oh yeah, that kind of debunks it. Like,
holy shit, are you kidding me? I didn't find that out until yesterday. But
did you guys watch the new trailer they put out like 4 days ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, that snowboarding bit.
Yep.
I was just like, that's from Sonic Adventure. Like, so much about this, I'm like looking at it and I'm going like, this movie is probably going to be one of those ones where it's a piece of shit, but it's an entertaining piece of shit.
I mean, video game movies, right?
Oh.
But like this has a decent shot. I don't know. This, like, going back to just what debunked, what made me realize that this was real was seeing this. It was like, oh wow, yeah, they were just making, when you watch the first movie, it's like, oh yeah, these are executives trying to cash money on this. So here's a bar fight scene, and here's like these dumb jokes that like,
yeah, it was just like man with anthropomorphized animal movie that you've seen a million times.
And this strikes me as more like, because they still have to bring those human characters back, like they're involved. And it's like, fine, I understand. But this definitely seems like, oh, okay, now you're making a Sonic movie. Now you're doing it. And of course, this could all fall apart. The actual movie could fall apart. But
Also, controversial take.
Okay.
The first Sonic game was kind of ass, but it was novel. The first Sonic movie was kind of ass, but it was novel. The second Sonic game is fucking incredible.
Yeah.
So history may repeat itself. Are we gonna get that with
this movie?
I don't know.
I don't know.
We got Knuckles involved, so we're getting some 3 in there. We got Sonic Adventure levels in here. As long as we don't go to Sonic 06, we're good.
No, go to Sonic 06. Go to Sonic 06.
No, so Sonic 3 has to be the introduction of Shadow. It has to be.
Has to be.
Please.
We're introducing the Emeralds now. We got Knuckles involved early. Let's move on to Shadow. It's time. So
when are we getting Rouge the Bat?
It's got to be part of Shadow's team, right? What was the team in Sonic Heroes? It was Shadow, Rouge, and who was the third person?
No, not the robot. No, it was the robot, I think.
Not E10. Not Metal Sonic? No.
Hold on. I'm looking up Sonic Heroes now because,
Oh, okay. All right. Do not put Shadow Rouge into your image search. Let's see. Sonic Heroes.
It's E123 Omega.
Wow, they really did get him. Okay.
And by the way, they're called Team Dark.
Of course they are.
Team Dark.
Way to go, you guys.
We got Team Sonic, Team Dark, Team Rose, and Team Chaotix.
Yes, Team Chaotix. That could be a whole Sonic spin-off show.
That was a throwback.
Yeah. And then we gotta get Amy, Cream, and Big the cat in there at some point.
I like this scene from the trailer. Just like Knuckles is like punching a whole bunch. He's missing everyone, and just like Sonic's like, for a guy named Knuckles, you are really bad at punching. That's pretty good. I like it.
Aberrant Drone says the Gator guy. No, he's part of Chaotix.
Yeah,
part of the Chaotix team.
The Gator guy and the Armadillo, I think,
and the Bat. Yeah, Bat, Armadillo, Gator guy. I believe.
Is Espio a bat?
Yeah, he's supposed to be a bat. I believe.
I think shouldn't he be a chameleon?
Or no, he is a chameleon. I'm thinking of someone else. Sorry.
And then the armadillo.
It's a bee. It's a bee.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bee, chameleon, and crocodile.
How sick is the crocodile design though, with like the gold chain and headphones?
Bling bling.
God damn, it's a good look.
Versus we have bat, robot, fucking hedgehog, echidna, fox. Then what was Team Rose? Hedgehog,
bunny,
morbidly obese cat,
supposedly cat.
No, it's just really fat rabbit. Cat, and then rabbit, and then those are our teams.
Yeah, I mean, they try to tell us that Sonic is a hedgehog, and look at that thing. So who knows?
My bet is on the team with the murderous killer robot.
So here's the thing: there's a couple ways I could go with this. Metal Sonic is a classic villain. Like you could do a whole movie.
He was introduced in Sonic CD.
Yeah. But yeah, you don't want to blow your load all at once. You could get a full franchise out of Sonic the Hedgehog if you do this right.
Look, Aaron, if you're telling me that I have like a decade's worth of Sonic movies to review on the podcast, I'm gonna Kurt Cobain myself.
You saying Sonic Cinematic Universe?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Only if it leads to the Super Smash Brothers Cinematic Universe. Dude. I want that scene from the beginning of Smash Ultimate, but in like we already have a Bayonetta movie. The anime, right? We can easily get a Mario movie going. We got Detective Pikachu. Look, we
have a Mario movie going.
See, it's on its way. See, I'm saying that we could get our Smash Bros. Cinematic universe.
Absolutely, we can.
We can make it a reality. The dream is here, boys. The video game industry just needs to reach out and take it.
You tasted it with Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah.
You cross those properties over. People like those movies.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Those movies were pretty good. Those movies were good.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Aberdrone says, I was so hyped seeing the animation of Link versus Pit. I thought there was an actual Smash anime made.
There should be.
There should
Fuck.
Could be.
An anime would be great. You could follow all sorts of threads.
Yeah, no, like a Solid Snake episode, a Bayonetta episode, a Link versus Pit episode. Like boom,
but like crossovers, like just various team ups, you know?
Like and you can literally just do like episodes be like different matchups for fights.
Mm-hmm.
Like just turn it into a WWE type thing. Just make it as a setup for different fights. There you go. Bayonetta versus Luigi.
You just got to go look at Video Game Championship Wrestling for your ideas. Go from there.
You go. Boom. Done.
God damn it.
Done, son. So,
all right.
I don't really want to take a break, but let's get into what we've been playing.
Well, I gotta use restroom, so.
Okay, so you know what? Put up the BRB screen. We'll get some water and come back.
All right, we'll be right back, you guys. Hang out.
Lordy. Do it to it.
Do it. 3, 2, 1. Almost hit the stop.
Do you edit these during the podcast, or how do we handle these on the audio version?
Thank you for listening to my podcast. I cut all of this out and I put in Beautiful Joe when you hit pause and says, "Let's take a break." I put that in, and then it cuts.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Okay. Now, all right. Because the YouTube version is literally just this.
Right.
So-
Well, yeah. All right. Quiet for just a couple seconds. And we're back. Hello.
We're back.
That was nice. That was a nice break.
So yes, nice water, nice stand up. But hey, we've been playing video games, which you do a lot of while sitting.
You sure do.
Unless you're playing Beat Saber.
I have not been playing VR. I've been meaning to check out Stride, but other games have been getting in the way.
Yes.
As they do. As they do.
But sometimes the games get in the way of themselves. Such as with our good friend Jesse Pewitt and him playing the Elden Rings. The save got corrupted, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, my save file got corrupted.
Yeah, I was on stream with Stella and Aaron, and I saw that, and I was like, "Oh fuck!"
That's
53 hours of game time gone.
Oh
So you're never
my
playing it
God.
again, is what I'm hearing.
I'll probably come back to it when there's a Game of the Year edition.
Fuck that.
Yeah, I think From Software heard me last week say this is probably the easiest Dark Souls game, and they're like, "I'll show you easy." And
Oh.
man.
Do it again.
But then I found out that like there are like methods to try to like uncorrupt your save file. So I spent a couple hours doing that. I downloaded my save file from Steam, like the Steam Cloud, and it was
Never been so happy to play a console version of this game and also wait to play this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
I was already leaning towards that Xbox version, boy, and this is really helping me along. Thank you.
Right, yeah.
For sure. That said, I found a trainer online, which is like a program that lets you edit stats and things.
Oh.
So I reinstalled the game and then just fucking maxed everything out and gave myself all the items and weapons and shit. I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to run through this.
Yes.
And in about an hour, I got back to where I was.
Okay.
In terms of plot and game and everything. But now I just I have everything. Nothing can stop me. So fuck you, FromSoft.
All right. Yeah, right. God damn it. Oh, that's cool. They have that tool though. Nice.
Yeah, you have to disable the anti-cheat,
of course,
for obvious reasons. But it made it much smoother ride. So I may keep going, or I may just wait for a Game of the Year edition.
Yeah, at this point, I'm gonna play it for when we get to Game of the Year awards.
Sure.
But it's definitely gonna be later in the year because I've heard the PC version is fucked. I've heard of other issues, and there's just so much to play right now. Yeah, I'm just I have a Horizon playthrough that is literally just sitting here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those things where I was, it is what it is. It's a great game. It's an obvious Game of the Year contender. It's just that I have to be in a specific mood to play those games and have a bunch of time, and I'm not really down for either of those things right now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
I'm gonna keep playing.
I'm sorry to hear that. To be fair, I completely understand. The only Souls game I can think of where I would not be cool with this would be where I'd be cool with this would be Bloodborne, because I like Bloodborne that much.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But because I don't know, and also what the fuck do they have against making a Bloodborne 2? That's what I want to know.
I mean, I actually like the way they tackle this, which is they make generally the same game in terms of their style, their genre. They're the ones that do this best, and they just create new IP each time, and I think that's awesome.
Right, but we've gotten
the formula just a bit.
Yeah,
we've gotten 3 Dark Souls games, Demon Souls, which is basically Dark Souls,
right?
And then this game, which is just open world Dark Souls. Bloodborne and Sekiro are the only 2 that have a different aesthetic and like a different vibe, and like Bloodborne was like the vibe. I was just like, give me more, and they're just like, never.
Never again.
I mean,
never again. I hope you enjoyed that DLC because you're not getting any more.
I would have liked if they had made like the castle in Caelid kind of Bloodborne-y. That would have been good.
Yeah, no, they could have done a lot of the Bloodborne stuff. Bloodborne has a straight up HP Lovecraft madness mechanic.
Right.
Yep. Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
You know, like so fucking like mad.
That game has gotten love that is like unreal from fans and just people in general. So I can't imagine that they don't at least consider it.
They should make another. No.
But I mean, like, where do you go after? Like, Elden Ring is this huge game, not just like in terms of what they've done, but like with George R.R. Martin involved, it has gotten crazy amounts of sales, and people are still playing it and streaming it and doing all of that. Like, this is huge. And where do you go after like hitting such? I don't want to say plateau because who knows, they could go even bigger than that. But like, to me, I feel like the next Souls project, like a Bloodborne 2, would be perfect.
Yeah, no, you scale it back a bit, and you expand upon the good parts of Bloodborne, like and be like, because I like the other Souls games, but like you can't go ham in those,
right?
Not nearly as well anyway.
Sure.
Like, yeah, like the way that Bloodborne functions is that old like Breaking Bad meme of just like, I am the danger.
Yeah.
Like that's what it is. So all right. Speaking of this, hey Aaron, I was so proud of you watching you stream this game, by the way. I was so happy. I was like, he gets it. He finally understands.
This is it.
So
it's happened.
I've always understood in word what these were about. But yeah, no, things started to click when I booted up Dark Souls 3 a couple months ago, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I ended up having to take a break. And the thing about Elden Ring is I understand all the other games are open world in nature, but this is by far the most open, where it's like, I hit a wall, I can go somewhere else. And doing that, knowing that there's always another option, something for me to do, let me be okay with like letting it go. Because I remember Bloodborne, we did the extra life thing, and it was like, as far as I can tell, these are the directions I can go, and I'm just not getting past them. And I'm like, all right,
right. And I feel that's a very different mindset in how you and I play games, to be fair. Because like you want the workaround, I'm like, give me the wall.
Sure.
I will break through the wall. Oh, so yeah.
And you have to break through walls eventually in games like this, but
this one eases you in. It seems it doesn't.
I don't know about. Well, you have to do the work of finding where it is. You have to care enough to go find it, because that's what I ended up doing. What's been happening is like I hit wall after wall after wall after wall. But because it's this giant open world, I can just keep going. I can keep looking. I've seen maps where like there are little icons everywhere where I have never been or have gone through but just didn't find the thing. So I'm like, all right, there's clearly like a bunch of stuff around here. I'm just gonna keep going and like looking around for stuff. And there's always something. And then sometimes it's just you need time, like a Portal level. You just need to sleep on it and come back, and then you do it in the first couple tries.
I actually always hate that in fucking any video game. Like Bloodborne would have multiple of those where I'm just like, God damn it, this is fucking impossible. And then I come back the next day and two-shot it. You're just like, son of a bitch.
Yep. So
no, I actually have a lot of my. So this is back when I was still posting gameplay clips to Facebook. I have like 3/4 of my Bloodborne boss kills on Facebook.
Okay.
To watch, and like I will always remember like my Bloodstarved Beast kill because of this. Like it's just one of those things where it was just like so fucking hype.
Yeah.
That I was just like, nope, this needs to go. This needs to go up.
Right.
This needs to be a thing. But yeah, it was very much it's definitely one of those games where, and this goes for any of them, where like there's a lot of friction that I feel this game reduces that the other ones have that this one has, but in a different way, where like you can just kind of roundabout a lot of shit.
Sure. Yeah.
Versus as much as I really enjoy Bloodborne, like, yeah, you hit a wall in Bloodborne. The old joke, but it's true, is get good.
Right.
Get good or go farm more stuff to have better stats.
Yep. Right. Yeah, you can farm too, which has been an option in this game in a couple cases. But yeah, I don't like playing games that way. So like, if I'm able to beat this, that'll be amazing on its own. But like,
that'll be its own little miracle.
Yeah, but if I were to go back and I hit those walls again, and I've got nowhere else to go, it's like nope.
Which understandable. Like
yeah. So I don't know. So we did our duo stream on Friday. That's where I defeated Godric there. I was able to move on to the next area, and you just see what's in front of you in terms of the open world. And I was just like, God, oh my God, there's so much. There is just so much. So now I'm taking it slow. I'm kind of going on my own time of just like, I'll log in for an hour and I'm going to see if I can find a new site of grace and just see what's along the way until I find something new, a new boss to bring down or a new cave or something. Until then, I'm in exploration mode. So this is a game I can tell I'm just going to be chipping away at all year. Sometimes I'll be in the mood for it. Sometimes I won't be. But yeah, this will be the 2022 is the year of Elden Ring, unless I finally hit all the walls.
For a lot of people, yes.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
For me, I don't know. Like, we'll see. I've played enough of them to kind of know what they are. This one seems different enough to
it. Like I said, a while ago, this is another one of those games for sure. Yeah.
So here's hoping here's hoping it can keep me, because Sekiro didn't keep me for certain reasons. Dark Souls 3 I didn't finish.
Oh,
I liked it, but I just didn't finish it.
Okay.
It was one of those things where, and to be fair, Bloodborne was the first one of these that I finished, and then I doubled back to the others also.
Gotcha.
That's another thing that Bloodborne had in its favor. And the thing about these games is the boss fights feel like they're 30 minutes long, but they're 4 minutes if you do them right.
Sure, of course.
But it's the most stressful 4 minutes of your life. I'm actually I actually decided to pull up a video, because I said I posted, and I was I did the Dark Beast Parl run, the giant electric demon in Bloodborne. I just thought I was screwed because I got maybe an eighth of his health and I had no potions left, and I just totally did a YOLO pull. It's fuck it, I'm gonna get under him. Let's go.
Yep.
Let's go. And then that's actually how you beat him, is you get under him and just go ape shit.
Yeah.
So
that's
that's it's one of those things, man, where I like these games. I mainly like the boss fights of these games too, which this game, that game seems like it has way more than the average Souls game.
Right.
So that's a big
There's a lot.
Yep.
Yeah, that's really appealing to me. Because I think back to Bloodborne and Ray and I's experience. I want to explore every bit of this world. I'm I just want to go fight big monster.
Yeah.
Fight big monster. Yes, please.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just that's my take on it. So, all right, well, right on, man. I'm glad you understand finally.
I mean, yeah, we'll see. I just need to not hit. There always needs to be a way around the giant walls. That's what I need. There's got to be something to work towards and work through, and I
mean,
won't stop.
fair.
So, and this
Fair
game has a real good chance of being that. So, yeah.
I really want to double back to Bloodborne with you, even if I'm the one who has to be the one playing, just so I can be like, okay, this is the difference.
I mean, that's not going to help because like I have to feel it. I have to be playing it. Like that's just because again, I understand in word.
I also just want an excuse to play Bloodborne and chat with you.
That's what it sounded more like. I didn't want to say it, but yes.
Yes. Like I am down to just play Bloodborne and chat about it with the homies.
I mean, it's either that or Dark Souls 3 that I would play after I beat Elden Ring.
Dark Souls 3 is good, but it's not Bloodborne good.
I mean, I made more progress through Dark Souls 3 than I did through Bloodborne. So
yeah, that's because like I was watching you play Bloodborne. I'm like, you're not aggro enough.
I mean, because I kept dying.
To be fair, I love watching Ray play that game because he just like goes full aggro. Like I'm like cautious sometimes. Like I do a dodge build in that game, so I can like keep doing that spot dodge you can do like a million times in a row.
Sure.
But like he does a full power build and he just uses Ludwig's sword and is just like one-shotting everything.
Good lord. Well, that sounds nice.
Oh, it's awesome. It's super awesome. He's just like, yeah, I farmed Blood Echoes for like 4 hours and check this out. Whoa.
God damn. Okay, if you're going to farm for that shit, then yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no. Anyway. Hey, Jesse. Stranger's Paradise, it ain't good.
Okay. So the core gameplay loop, the actual like combat in the game is fucking fantastic.
Okay, what is it? Like what kind of combat is this? Because like I keep hearing about this fucking game and it's like a Final Fantasy 1 anniversary thing. But like I heard like Koei Tecmo is working on it.
Yeah, it's Team Ninja.
Yeah, okay. So Team Ninja's working on it, and then I was just kind of like, No.
It's more like Neo, less like Dark Souls.
Okay.
Combat is very fluid. You can, when you do combos, each combo is just like R1 or R2, but R1s are like your main attacks, and then R2 is your finisher. So depending on where you are in your R1 combo, you can use different finishers with your R2 button. But then when you use a finisher, you can then swap classes quickly, like quicker than normal. And then you can continue a combo with your second class. So if you're like a sword master or whatever, you're swinging your big dick sword around, and then you do your finisher, and then you swap over to mage and you start blasting them with like fire spells or whatever. And then you do a finisher with your fire spells, and you swap back into the sword master and go back to going ham. The core gameplay loop is a lot of fun. It's really good. Graphically, the game looks terrible. It looks like a launch PS3 game.
Ooh.
I tried first with like the frame rate mode, and I was like, okay, we'll see what this is like. And it was buttery smooth, but Jesus Christ, it did look like ass. It was so bad. And then I was like, okay, we'll switch over to resolution mode, and it's a little better. It's not great. So if you can get over the way the graphics look and play it, it's pretty good. As far as the story goes, there's not a whole lot there other than like I want to kill chaos, which is like the whole meme.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm pretty sure. And if this is correct, like I'm like 95% sure, but if this is correct, then I think the story is going to be phenomenal. If it's not correct, then I think it's just going to be ass. But I'm pretty sure the game is a satire of like the hero story, and where the hero like is going to save the world and like comes up from nothing. And I think if it's a satire and a play on that, I think the story is going to be phenomenal. But if it ends up not being satire, then it's whatever, just another shitty hero that saves the world for absolutely no reason.
Okay, fair enough.
Interesting. All right.
We're having a lot of fun with it.
We'll get more info on that and get your final score when you're closer to being done.
For sure.
Okay, cool. Okay, so now we got that. All All right, so we know I'm on a course to try as many MMOs as possible. Like, we know that's the thing that's going on. You've all heard it in the Discord and on stream.
Yep.
And
how's that working out for you?
Time consuming, say that much.
Sounds about right.
So, but I finally got around to trying Guild Wars 2 this week.
Right.
David and Stella hype it up a lot. David especially hypes up a lot. It's probably his favorite MMO. He does not like Final Fantasy at all. And he's just like, I think you'd really like it. And it has been it is a good game so far. I'm level 22 of 80, so I'm a fourth of the way out there in about 12 hours. So it seems far less time consuming than Final Fantasy at minimum.
Right.
And WoW, if I'm being completely honest. So anyway, so I've been playing Guild Wars, and like the game is generally good, but it's not like getting a passionate response to me. Kind of like the first 30 hours of Final Fantasy.
Sure.
Is what I would describe about that. Like, I didn't get really into Final Fantasy until like the middle of A Realm Reborn, and I didn't really feel super passionate about Final Fantasy until Stormblood. So I'm still giving it a chance and still like, trying to be generally as positive as possible about it. And it definitely has some good things and a lot to get used to coming off of a World of Warcraft or a Final Fantasy. For one, there's no GCD. GCD does not exist.
Oh.
Everything is real time.
Wow.
It is, the way I would describe it is it is a middle ground between a Lost Ark and a WoW. Okay. As far as combat is concerned, just like how like everything has cleave. Mm-hmm. So like, how in WoW or Final Fantasy, when you target something, if it's not an AoE, or like it does damage to the one thing.
Yeah.
No, swords behave like swords. If you swipe, everything in range of the swipe hits.
Okay.
Just like how melee weapons like that typically apply like a bleed effect, at least from what I've seen so far. Mm-hmm. So there's that. Like, abilities don't track the same way they do. So if you use an ability like, it has an equivalent to WoW's charge for a warrior called Bull's Charge. And like, just like, unlike WoW's charge is 100% hit unless they do a blink or something like that to avoid it. Like, this is like, no, you actually have to aim it and it'll track its best, but you still have to be in range and make sure they don't juke it. Because unlike in other MMOs, you can totally juke in this game.
Okay.
Which is really cool. There's no fucking snapshotting. Thank you, Final Fantasy.
Okay.
Fucking god damn it, I hate it. You have no idea how many times fucking snapshotting has gotten me killed in fucking Final Fantasy. It has been the hardest adjustment coming from World of Warcraft, which has snapshotting, but like the time frame on it is like 0.1 milliseconds versus Final Fantasy, where it's like boss does big wind up thing, the animation has not played yet, so I think I'm good, but no, then it happens and I took damage. And It's so fucking irritating. It is still the most irritating part about Final Fantasy. I'm finally getting into Black Mage and weaving and all kinds of shit like that. I'll get more into that when I get to the Final Fantasy section. But like, oh my god, it's so nice to play a game that doesn't have fucking snapshotting.
Sure.
That said, it has juking, which has its own problems. That I find irritating. So questing is really different than other MMOs.
All right.
Like, you don't go up to a quest giver and have him give you a quest at all. You don't do that.
Okay.
We don't do that here.
I see.
What you do is you go to an area and you'll go in the map and the map won't be uncovered, and you'll talk to a scout or you'll just find it and it'll be like, oh, here we're unveiling part of the map for you. This is where a point of interest is. Like, everything gives you experience to level. Finding points of interest, finding vistas, finding challenges, doing world events. And there'll like be level capped, fully geared out, decked out characters in the like starting zone doing events, because it also benefits them. That it's actually like a really neat moment. Like David took me to this like giant boss fight that shows up in the first human starting zone that had so many people doing shit there that my frame rate dropped from like 140 down to 30. Like it was this huge, really awesome spectacle, and like the combat for it was like super fun. It was very interesting, very cool. And like, but so Beto was saying though is like, so what you'll do is there'll be like a guy with a heart on the map, and he'll be like, here, do these 3 things because this is what's going on in this area, and you do those 3 things, and that fills up a bar, and you get experience for the quest. It's not like Final Fantasy or WoW where you go like talk to the farmer and he's like, yeah, we got fucking kicked out because of the drought and we need food for old Blanchy, so go fuck up the bandits to get food for the horse.
Right.
Like using a WoW one as an example. So that it doesn't have that. It's like, yeah, this is kind of what's going on there. Centaurs are attacking, kill enough centaurs to fill the bar up. Or protect these fishermen from like these sharks while you're doing this or whatever it is. So that's a really, like, it's nice because it speeds the process up a little bit, because I just come to a zone, read a thing, got it, kill a bunch of centaurs, let's go. So if you're kind of looking to speed level, it is a preferable method.
Okay.
Another interesting thing is so you don't have set abilities. Like different classes have different abilities, but your abilities are determined by your weapons. So like if I'm playing a warrior, which is my main,
yeah,
I know, shocking no one,
right?
I'm playing a warrior, which is my main, and if I use a sword and an axe, I get a different ability and skill tree than a sword and a sword, or a two-handed sword versus a two-handed hammer. You get an entire different ability tree and skill set and everything.
Jeez.
At least for your like active attacking stuff. And then you have like your class stuff, which is like utility and stun break and all this other kind of stuff. I haven't fully explored that enough. I'm not far enough in to have a full grasp of it yet. I'll let you know. And the thing about this is, so far at least, is it creates this thing where it doesn't like I said, it plays more like an action game almost.
Right.
Like like there's a straight up like dodge roll, like a Devil May Cry dodge in the game.
Weird.
Or more like a Dark Souls dodge.
I was gonna say,
still.
okay, all right.
Yeah, like there's like a straight up Dark Souls roll dodge, and you have 2 dodges, at least so far as I know from my character. So yeah, like there's a straight up like big roll dodge. There's utility abilities that can help you out. Every character has a self heal.
Nice.
Every character can res other characters.
Wow.
Even out in the open world, like I saw some dude bite it, and I just went up and resed him.
Sure.
Like that's like classes are not. The game does not run on the Holy Trinity. So depending on if you like those defined roles or not, you may or may not enjoy that.
Okay.
So that is something to consider. So there's that. Sorry, there's a lot of this, man. I put a good 15 hours into it over 2 days.
Right.
But yeah, like it's just so different. Like I would say it's even like closer to Destiny than it is like WoW or Final Fantasy. Just to the fact that you can kind of do anything you want to progress. Like if you want to, you can completely ignore the story and level through PvP.
Okay.
If you just want to queue PvP and level that way, you can. It's way slower, but you can.
Sure.
So yeah, their glamour system is probably even more in depth than Final Fantasy's. Because there are over 100 dyes in the game, right. And you not only can you dye pieces of gear, you can dye certain subsections of pieces of gear.
Wow.
So like I had a pair of pants that I dyed like I dyed part of my boots pink and then part of my boots black.
Nice.
Yeah, like that was really neat. There's tons of wardrobe stuff. But yeah, so The big thing that I really got into, though, and granted, I haven't done raids or their version of Mythic Plus, which is apparently called Fractals. Like, I'm not there yet. Is PvP. PvP in this game is super fucking fun.
Oh, nice.
It is super fun. There's like this big play between stuns and stun break and different abilities depending on what weapons people have, and like it's really interesting and cool. Oh, and then also the game is very forgiving, because if you die, you can fight your way back to life.
What?
So if you die, you go into what is known as a down state. Like, you're down. Think Gears of War. And if you kill something with one of your downed abilities, you come back to life.
Damn, think of how many times we could have gotten out of messes in Left 4 Dead if we could do that.
Yes. Same thing with the same thing with the PvP, or like, and they're class specific too. Like, Warrior has one where like you briefly come back to life, and if you kill someone, you stay back to life. Like, it's or like you have one with Warrior where you like throw rocks and kick to get people away from you, and if you kill someone with it, you also come back to life.
Wow.
So
wow.
Yeah, that's really neat. My biggest issue so far is the early story isn't really drawing me in.
Okay.
Like, it's fine. Like, it's fine. It's very much, it's similar to what I would describe in Final Fantasy, where like the start of A Realm Reborn is like, yeah, this is fine.
Right.
You know, and then the next thing I would say about it is the leveling experience is very plain, I guess is the best way I would describe it.
Okay.
Like, it's very much show up to area, explore as much area as possible for free experience via the points of interest and the waypoints, and because once again, you get experience for all of this. The waypoint system, the waypoint system, the vistas, all this other stuff in the area, and then double back and do all the, if I'm translating to Final Fantasy or WoW terms, all the quests in the area.
Okay.
Like, you go fill up all the hearts by killing, collecting, or doing whatever you got to do, and then that's what gives you the bulk of your experience. Apparently, you get your first dungeon at level 30, but apparently they're kind of dead, from what I've heard from other people. So I'll report more on that. Like, I want to get into my first like dungeon and like dungeon equivalents this week, hopefully.
Right.
So we'll see how that goes, and also like every 10 levels, it seems, you get more story content. So I'm curious about that. And then I don't really want to talk about the visuals too much, because it's like talking about the Realm Reborn visuals. It's
right.
like, yeah, this is so early and it's the oldest stuff. Of course, it doesn't look amazing.
Yep.
And then music. Music is done by the Skyrim guy, and it's good. Nice. It's not Final Fantasy good, I will say that.
Sure.
But that is a high bar.
Okay.
I'd say it's a little bit worse than the WoW stuff, but still generally good.
Okay.
So nice. Like, I have had the best way I would describe it so far is like the game as a whole is good, not great, except for the PvP, which is excellent.
Wow, interesting.
But so far, once
right,
again,
that's the thing. We're just starting here. I do want to hear your thoughts as you go farther in.
Yes, sure. Yes, exactly. As for the other MMO I played this week, so I finished Shadowbringers.
Yes.
That was fucking incredible.
It really is.
That was so fucking good. I don't want to spoil anything because we have members of the community going through the game.
Yep.
But my God, bro. My Lord.
It's so good.
It was good.
God damn
so
it.
good.
Yep.
Oh my God. That scene with Alize in her first zone.
Yeah, that was the moment of like, oh
shit.
Yeah,
no.
Yep.
The reveal of the big bad. The reveal of the other big bad. In the post game, the 5.3. Like the dungeons. I did the Nier raid with Anthony this week.
Yep.
That was awesome. You know, like, oh my fucking god. I have a couple of complaints about the story, which is kind of like, I feel the ending is a little too clean. But other than that, like, fucking great. You know,
it's good.
Yeah. I wish that one character would have actually bought it, is what I'm saying.
I like that character, so I can't.
I like that character. It's just it feels like no one ever dies in this fucking universe.
True.
True. It's a problem that I kind of had with World of Warcraft, is just like, fucking actually kill someone.
I refuse.
Man, think about how great it would be if Alphino died. I mean, what?
No. God damn it.
Yeah. No. Think about it. Next expansion. Big bad comes up, just fucks up the Scions, and then murders Alphino right there on the spot.
Yeah.
No. Like in Stormblood, you buy into Xenos because he just gives everyone the hands immediately.
Yep.
Imagine that, but even harder, and just like, sword through Alphino, pimps out. All right, that sets up the expansion.
Well, there's little stakes for you. That's your least favorite character.
I mean, okay, fine. Then do it to someone I like. Do it to Thancred. There you go. So,
yeah, Thancred would have a lot to lose after. More to lose certainly after the events of Shadowbringers.
I mean, if you really want to just break the entire community's heart and like make everyone hate the bad guy, and immediately everyone just is like, fuck this guy, you do Tataru.
Yeah. That would do it.
Set the tone, have him come in and just murder all of Mordona.
Yeah, that would be. Oh
yeah.
Or Catwife murder.
Yeah, right.
You come in, you take out Catwife, you take out Tutaru, and you take out that entire city, and he's just like, I have crippled the Scions.
Right.
You know, and just like pieces out, and the Warrior of Light has to like get everything back together and find new heroes.
Yep. There's ways they could do it.
I just wrote a really good Final Fantasy expansion. All right. Well, anyway, Shadowbringers was fucking, dude. Yeah, that's probably the best story I've ever seen in MMO. That's like Wrath level good, if not better.
It's
incredible. Yeah, it's really good.
And then they set up Endwalker with the most extra fucking bad guy of all time. I fucking love Fandaniel so much. Oh my god, he is the best. He's so good.
Fandaniel rubbed me the wrong way, but like him paired with Xenos, I think is just such a funny,
really good
amazing pairing.
Aaron, that feels like our pairing a little bit.
A little bit. Yeah. Well, I was just about to say it's almost like a Jay and Silent Bob setup.
Yes.
$15, little man. Put that shit in my hand, and Xenos just sitting there.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good, dude.
Right about it.
Like, I almost want to stream the entirety of my Endwalker run. Like, I almost want to stream it.
Yeah, you should.
Like,
I would love to see some of the reactions to.
I will watch it every single time.
Okay, fine. I will set up to be that as my streams in the coming week is Final Fantasy reacts to fucking.
I don't think it'd be a good idea to do duo streams for that, but yes.
Yeah. So anyway,
solo stream.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see other stuff this week. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know, man. It's
good. It's very good.
It's very good. The hype was true.
Yep.
On this one. So yeah. Played Persona 4 Ultimax, did 4 matches. Game still plays great. Music is still fantastic. I can still cross up people like a motherfucker.
Sure.
Especially because you got that sweet downward spike with my main.
Mm-hmm.
Like that whole, because you have that ability where it's quarter circle back A on the Xbox controller, where you go up and then you do a downward spike.
Right.
And then it's fucking really oh man. Oh lordy. It's real good. It's real good when you like go up and you just spike down behind them, clip their hitbox, then turn around and go into a combo. It's super good.
You gonna keep playing?
Yeah, probably. It's gonna be slow and steady. It doesn't help that the PC version's a little borked. So going off from there, we have and then I did a little bit of Lost Ark. I'm very close to tier 3. It's just getting very grindy. Like go in, do dailies, log out. Yep. Get sad because you miss at the casino. And then yeah, that's basically it from me. Jesse, can you give us a short update on GT7? How you like them reflections, dog?
Game looks good. Game plays good. I might be taking a break from it for a little while. Mm-hmm. They nerfed the credit accumulation.
I heard about that. I heard about that, and I was very curious.
And their response to it was, well, we want to emulate the real life cost and rarity of these like high price vehicles. And I'm like, nah, fuck that. Like I'm playing.
It's totally not to get microtransactions.
Yeah, absolutely. So I may be taking a break from it. It's still a lot of fun. If you like racing sims, it's worth checking out.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I was having a good time with it before I stopped. I want them to do more stuff with it, but anyway. And then last but certainly not least, Aaron, how's Bayonetta treating you?
Bayonetta is still going strong. The boss fights are nuts. Director of cutscenes guy is earning his place in the credit sequence. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm gonna keep playing it.
I want you to finish it. I want you to see the next level shit that is the second half of that game.
I know. Yeah, we'll see. Like basically Bayonetta and Elden Ring are the games I'm looking at. Like there are other games on the back burner I want to get to. Like I said, I want to check out Stride in VR. I still have Resident Evil 4 VR I'm going into.
Do you have any characters in your like 40s or 50s in Final Fantasy?
I mean, like jobs?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Because I was about to say my Dark Knight's like 45, probably 50 soon. If you need a tank for insta queues this week,
dude. I don't know why it's not sticking in your head.
Oh god, because no other game does this shit anymore. Is why
they're working on it. They're almost there.
So fucking like WoW stopped this shit over a decade ago.
I know.
Fucking Guild Wars has a mega server. Fucking Destiny also has a mega server.
But you were expressing worry about them introducing this just months ago.
I know, because but then I played this game and I realized, server community is like barely a thing in this game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's not what WoW was. Like WoW, when they implemented this, they ruined server community and you just kind of had to accept it. In this game, it apparently doesn't really exist much because there was already data center travel, at least when I'm coming in.
Right, yeah, I don't know what it was like when it first came out, but
yeah.
Now, yes. They're working on it. They're almost there.
Fuck, it's so irritating.
I know. You're going to see a lot of Final Fantasy 14 once 618 comes out, you guys.
Yeah, because then we can finally fucking play together.
There's going to be a lot going on there.
And by then, I'll probably have a capped tank and a capped DPS, and I'm going to cap a Sage because I want mentor chat.
Right.
Jesse, do you have mentor status?
No. No. The crown is largely seen as a joke.
Right, we talked about that before.
Yeah, I want that joke. That's funny.
The mount looks like fantastic though. So
that too. I want the mount too. So yeah, like I'm gonna. That's another like side goal is doing FF14, like try and get mentor status. So I'm gonna level a sage and cap a sage. And then I'm currently capping Dark Knight and Black Mage, and then I'm gonna double back and hit Reaper. So I will have 4 options for when we do Extreme and Ultimate. And yeah. No, yeah, I don't know. It's like I have that concern about data. Like once again, it comes back to this game is in a very different place than WoW was when they added cross server.
Yeah.
You know, like
I mean, they still haven't fixed their glamour system, and it doesn't seem like they're doing it in the near future either. So there's other things they got to do.
Yeah, coming off of Guild Wars' system where it's very similar to WoW's, except it adds the dies and options of Final Fantasy.
Right.
And I'm like, oh shit, okay. Yeah, and Destiny still probably has the worst one because you have to farm fucking materials to do it. So yeah. I don't know. So all right, cool. Bayonetta. Anything else I forget here?
I mean, yeah, no, it's been a lot of other stuff outside of video games. Just trying to get stuff taken care of. Life.
Yeah, I feel that. These courses at the new job. Like, it's nice that I'm home for one last week, but it's also kind of irritating. I'm just like so tired of being in classes. I'm so tired. So anyway, so yeah, do we have anything else that we want to bring up other than our normal social media whoring?
I think we're good for this week. I'm gonna check out that fighting game roundtable tomorrow and get the Ukraine bundle, and then check out a couple games from that. And otherwise, we'll be putting up our schedule soon here, and you can find that on our social medias and on our Discord.
I'm debating if I want to just mainline Guild Wars all week to cap out as soon as possible.
That'd be fun.
But
do what you did for Lost Ark and just grind it.
Yeah, but I'm on the other side of that. I'm really want to dive full ham into Endwalker because of how hype Shadowbringers was. So
yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, guys, please follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Super Gamecraft with a K. Look us up. You'll like us. And along with that, we are also on YouTube. Please give the YouTube a good look. We have posted podcasts there, and if I can finally motivate myself and get the time to do it, I'm going to start clipping stuff from the podcast. But if you just want to listen to certain sections of the podcast, all the podcasts have timestamps that you can go click on to watch, and those are done by Emily, and she does a great job. Finally, the shirtless stream. We grow ever closer.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Oh, Jesus.
We are 7 followers on Twitch. We are 2 subs if we keep our current subs, and 8 YouTube followers / subs away before we gotta get shirtless. So if you want to make that dream happen, follows and subs, baby.
Yep. God damn it.
All right. So yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for tuning in. And then for you guys watching the stream live, 10:30 a.m. every single Sunday, we're gonna go raid Cartbale.
Let's raid Cartbale.
Hey.
Oh no, not raid Asmongold. Bad. That'd be really funny. Just like a 7-man stream goes to raid Asmon.
Yeah. Enjoy.
Oh, we'd probably get trolled so hard.
Yeah, of course.
Probably.
Lordy. All right, raiding Cartbale. And all 7 of you better show. Cartbale's the best boy. He gives us so many shout outs and good conversation. All right, all 7 of you today. I'm so proud of this community.
Yeah.
Good job.
Sick.
All right, our boy Cartbale. And everyone yell raid in the chat.
Well, I'm in the Super Gamecraft. You already took care. All right. All right. Closing stream. Bye.